How dare you, Chris? Late? Me? I am a fucking 2 days ahead of schedule, brother. And you're gonna give me shit about being a second late? No shot. Tisk, Chris. No respect given to the elderly around here, eh? No semblance of, damn, the old man be, slaving away to give us streams to make sure he keeps up on his idiotically chosen fucking promise, fucking idiot. No props for that. Jesus Christ, that's the wrong song. Whew. It's gonna get me fucking. Nothing for that. All about whiz nanosecond late. Tisk. How you doing, buddy? Sorry, I'm done yanking your chain. How you doing? Penis.
Crazy how time flies when I wonder if the path is in the right direction.
Okay, hold on.
But I do believe things come to light by accident when it remains on. Sounds like it's meant.
I'm older than you are? Doubt it. We've talked about this. Yes, I do remember. With my soul fire in my heart. Not. How's it going, man? Okay, so the E has to be here. The S here. So it has to be like... I'm good too, thank you for asking. First day actually doing work in weeks. It was weird. I was like, fuck, I actually gotta do shit now. Can't just be like, alright, you chuckle fucks, do stuff, message me if you have a problem. Shit. Okay. Okay, this is good info. Because this can't be a word, right? How was the hair? I didn't get a haircut, bro. I got my beard cut. I don't normally get it done. She cut it shorter than I would like, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it looks fine, I think. But she cut it shorter than I would like. She's very sweet, so I don't want to say anything. She's such a sweetheart. She's newer to the barbershop, so I was like, and so but she's so sweet. I don't want to be like, no, you cut. I was like, yeah, fuck it. It'll grow. It's just hair. It'll grow back. Despite what you fucks may think. As you go. Okay, psilocybin. God. What is this, bro? P? No, it... Oh, thank God. Let's go! Whew. If it was some PS nonsense, that would have been horrible. Paradigm. The carrot or the stick. Magnifying. Bell. Icicle. Double stalactite. What the fuck? Icicles. Stalactite. Things that are like hanging from a building. A bell. Icicle. Stalactite. No, I wasn't thinking spiky. I'm thinking like are hanging from like a structure. Stalactite is what I'm thinking, right? I'm not stalactite. Yeah, stalactite are like these things. and like caves. They are what I'm thinking of. Oh, whoa, Queen, how's it going? Long time no see. It hasn't actually been that long, but yeah. Let me have my moment. How fun! Okay, things that like hang down. COI it's actually good now. Volume 7 has been really cool. Volume 7 has been fun. I like it. Volume 6 was in concept great, in execution left things to be desired. But like good beyond that. Oh god, that feels so good. Sorry, how many chapters do you have left? 102. I will be done this weekend. This coming weekend, like Saturday or Sunday, I'll be done. Sunday, probably. Maybe Saturday. Oh my god. I know something that's going to be so much fun. Oh my god, I know something that's going to be so much fun. Today, thanks, Chris. Okay, so next Monday is a stat day. So I'm off next Monday. I don't have work. And I'll be done COI, so I don't really have anything. So I'm thinking, if y'all are up for it, long ass gaming stream. We're about to do so much of The Witcher 3 in one fucking sitting. Or I could finish the Outer Wilds. I could finish Outer Wilds in one sitting. Those are the two options. I could either do Outer Wilds in one sitting, or I could get so much of Witcher 3 done in one sitting that it would genuinely make your fucking mind boggle. Like, how much has this fucking loser played this game? On fucking lethal difficulty, I'll just run through everything. Those are the two options. I don't know. There's like 4 people who are really pro Outer Wilds. I don't know about the rest of you. Horse, carrot, stick. Or I take Monday off, and I genuinely, actually, unlike being a lazy fuck, I will sit in VC and I will work on the Volume 7 video. I will genuinely work on it. I think Volume 7 video is probably better than those two options. I will sit in VC for at least 6 hours while working on it. If someone wants to sit with me to hold me accountable, that would be better. Like, not the whole time. I don't expect one person to be doing that, but like, that would be better. That might be a better option. Fuck it, no. What chapter am I on? 1077, I think? 1077, yep. COI is just under 1200. It's like 1180. So, 102 chapters? Laughing. I will say, my beard being this short makes my face look very tubby. I don't like it. It's fine. It's just hair. It'll grow back. She's a sweet lady who's in training. I'm not gonna fucking fault that. I'm not gonna falter. Bro, okay, I'm not getting Wordle today. Fucking skip it. I'm not getting connections today. This shit ass. What are you reading right now, Queen? You're reading something, I think, right? Let's go! So I missed a moment I heard happens, which is, I hope I didn't spoil you, but if I did, back to back kinda. I've been on fire with Cuddle lately, right? You've been noticing. I'm getting better. Okay, now okay, if you guys ask me any questions now, I cannot answer them, okay? I need to lock in. I need to get 900 today. That's so bad, bro. That's so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. Never mind. Not even at 800 is crazy. Oh my god, that's disgusting. That's genuinely disgusting. Ew. I haven't heard anything lately. I'm playing Silver Palace. Oh, you haven't read anything. I don't know why I read that as I haven't heard anything lately. Silver Palace beta, getting caught up on Final Fantasy. Okay, no worries, no worries. Well, hopefully I'll see you for Reverend Insanity streams. I don't know. I don't think we've talked about RI. I don't know if you'll be here for that. But the streams will be more kind of just fun vibes based anyway, because they'll be like, I'm gonna be playing a game, Reverend Insanity's playing in the background with the audiobook. I will read like really cool chapters myself, but generally like for the first little bit. That doesn't, it sounds too edgy. Sag. What does a man have to do to capture the hearts of his audience? I don't know. I can't do it, apparently. I may miss stream tomorrow, depending on what time you start. You let me know what time works for you, Chris. Is there a RI audiobook? There is on YouTube, or not. It's like 1,000 chapters or something. It's like very decent. As for how good it is or anything, I have no fucking idea. Like, this is the first 361 chapters. There's more, but like that's, oh yeah, and then chapter 501 to 1,000. Oh my god, and it's with Ghost of Tsushima gameplay. Hold on, let's see what the audio is like, because I've been thinking about the, but I mean, there's so many audiobooks. There's so many. One of these have to be decent, right?
This is an audio production of Reverend Insanity by Gu Gen Ren. In case these audiobooks are taken down, please go subscribe to the backup channel, The Audioverse, for all future updates. If you would like to join the Patreon for access to the downloads and early uploads, feel free to check my bio for that as well.
Okay. It's not, it is, I don't know if it's AI, but I mean...
Humans are clever in tens of thousands of ways. Gu are the true refined essences of heaven and earth.
I know.
The 3 temples are unrighteous.
Okay, it's not horrible though. It's not horrible. It's not great, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's not horrible. How's like this one?
Chapter 1. The heart of a demon never has regret even in death. Fong Yuan, quietly hand over the spring autumn cicada, and I'll give you a quick death. Old bastard Fong, stop attempting to resist anymore. Today, all of the major factions of justice have combined together just to destroy your devil lair. This place is already covered in inescapable nets.
Okay, this one's not, I feel like this one's better. This one's better, I think. I'm gonna read Omniscient's Viewpoint Reader properly one day. Orvie's good. Orvie's decent. I don't know if I'd enjoy reading the... I read a lot of the manhwa, so I don't know if I'd enjoy reading...
Reverend Insanity is a dark fantasy novel.
Fucking Christ, Jeff. Definitely not that. Absolute cancer.
Welcome to the channel. Here, we bring...
Fucking Christ, definitely not that. Okay, this one is not bad, though. This one I could listen to. The fact that it says Fong instead of Feng is not great, but it's fine. The Fool's Arc.
Chapter 1. The heart of a demon never has regret, even in death. Fong Yuan, quietly hand over the spring autumn cicada, and I'll give you a quick death.
Okay,
Old
that one's not...
bastard Fong,
Okay,
stop
that one's not... Okay, these ones are not horrible. I could live with that. If I'm playing like a game in the background, that'd be great. I read a few chapters years ago, but I quit. Yeah. I don't know. The story was like... It was fine, but like I didn't read it with the same level of like, I don't know, je ne sais quoi that I did like Reverend Insanity, that I did Lord of the Mysteries, COI, or even The Perfect Run. The Perfect Run I genuinely had fun with. It was just the viewership for that was fucking non-existent. So, brother, where am I going? What the... Because of my barely treated ADHD then? What? You don't self-medicate, Queen? You don't drink copious amounts of alcohol to self-medicate? But like, why LOTM stream have chest thumbnail? Despite, I don't know why, bro. My thumbnail, I have a thumbnail, but for some reason it just doesn't pull through at times, and it's so fucking infuriating. I have a thumbnail. Is it the same that it has been since fucking Volume 4? Yeah, probably. Shut up. I don't drink or smoke or anything. Me neither. And that stuff's bad for you, don't you know? Those energy drinks though, bro, I love Red Bull so much. The main thing my dad gets angry at me at is the fact that I drink so much Red Bull. He's like, that shit's horrible for you, don't you know? And I'm like, it's fine. Aaron, how's it going, man? Sorry, stream started a little later than I said. I apologize. I forgot I had an appointment at the barber. Do 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 do. I don't know what the solution here was. Fuck! What chapters today? Up to 1088. And then tomorrow we're finishing Volume 7, I think. My vice is salty snacks like chips and caffeinated drinks. Coca-Cola. I have more vices than I care to admit. I'm a bad person. I'm just genuinely a bad person. But I'm trying. Dun, 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 dun. Wait, Chris, you're not gonna make me do 30 chapters tomorrow, right? Stop. Can we do like 15 and then 15 on Wednesday? Fuck, you're not gonna fuck me like this, right? You're not gonna fuck. Okay, I gotta, if I want to beat this guy now, I genuinely have to lock in. It's giving you more ads? You know what, I'm sorry. That should help. If anyone is curious, I just placed an ad there. This is what I get. This is what I get for being distracted midway through. This is what I get. You feel like reading to 1099? Fuck no. But can I read to like 1092? Counter offer. No, I know, Queen. That's why you're so sweet, because I knew you would say, oh, it's not your fault. And then I was like, I'm going to be an asshole. I'm going to put an ad in there. I'm sorry. You see what I mean? I'm a bad person. I play off of people's kindness. But you have to be in my profession, you know. You can't be kind-hearted and do what I do. Just can't be. You guys okay if we do a chess game real quick? Let's try to beat Nelson. Nelson's a dickhead. Okay, this is a bot that sucks. He brings out his queen real early on every fucking time. He's so fucking annoying. Was busy cooking what I just sent in Discord. Bro, he's gonna send some fucking absolute disgusting looking dish, I'll bet you. Why am I this mean, bro? Why am I so mean today? Jesus. Here, 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 I lose. I don't have the mental state to troll. Nah. The trolling should come instinctive.
I just lost my course.
Because I see it as being mean on purpose? No. Trolling isn't being mean. I wouldn't say that. Trolling is an art form. It is difficult to explain. I can't trade with him. I'm gonna get fucking rolled if I trade anymore. See? I'm an idiot! Alright, let's start reading. Didn't want to play chess anyway. I'm the one who takes jokes too literally a lot. And can't tell if people are trolling him. This is very obvious. I know, Queen. And we love you for it. Not my Queen, but you know. I'm sorry. I can't help myself. Da 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 da. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby. Wait, hold on, Kami. What? What? Dude, am I crazy? The burgers Kami sent in fucking Discord look good as fuck. Jesus, give me some of those. What the fuck? I thought this motherfucker was gonna be like a Asmongold eating plain fucking chicken breast with nothing on it. Fucking just plain, no fucking salt, no spice, nothing. I don't know, that's what I was imagining, bro. Holy shit, that looks great. You're making me hungry. You're making me hungies. General, yes, yes, yes. 1 second, let me just update the title. There we go. Da 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 da. Oh, by the way, sorry, completely off topic, but I watched the Odyssey yesterday, and I'm not sure who needed to hear this, or who the fuck wants to take my fucking opinion for it, but great fucking movie, cannot recommend enough. Holy shit, that was amazing. I genuinely walked out of that going, God damn, that might have been a damn near perfect movie. Like, I genuinely don't have any fucking notes for it. Okay, I did have one note, but again, it's so nitpicky, I feel disgusting even saying it, which is the, like, okay, I agree. Tom Holland calling his dad instead of, like, father is a little out of place, but, like, okay, that's such a minor cringy ass thing. Like, I don't even want to. The whole fandom that day got dude, I got jealous at your Urahara. What? That was so, oh. What? Oh wait, I'm starting at 1078. Ha. I got No. The title is wrong, but I'm also on the wrong chapter, so good catch. Oh, time skip. Good call, Lauren. I was about to skip 10 chapters. You know what? Let's just skip them. Fuck it. I'm done today's stream. Alright, good stream, guys. It should have been me. I agree. Not accurate to the story, I heard. You'll have a better, lore accurate version of the epic, the musical. This is true. There's a lot of things that are changed. Because, like, for example, the epic shows a lot more of Odysseus. Technically, the epic always says that the Odysseus is a perfect god man. He has no shortcomings. But you as the audience are left to, like, through his actions go, no, he was a flawed man. He had errors like everyone else. But the movie makes that a lot clearer. That sort of thing. Agamemnon's thing was also changed to an extent. I know the fucking losers cry about Achilles, but bro, Achilles was barely in the fucking thing. Achilles showed up as a fucking corpse. Relax. Yeah, fucking losers. At the Auberge de Côte d'Or basement, Leon, wearing a light blue shirt, walked in, and every patron he passed greeted him warmly with from the bottom of their hearts. Leon sat at the bar and smiled at the bartender. One La Fille Verte. Pavard, who wore a ponytail and had an artistic air, asked, "Why do you always order the same thing?" "It has a sacred meaning to me," Leon said, resting his elbow on the bar counter. Is Leon Lumion after his sequence change again? He became a man again, maybe? Pavard didn't ask further. This Monsieur Leon, who had looked more like a scholar than a laborer, had become the most respected figure in Rue Anarchy over the past couple months. He arrived in April and gained widespread support in just over 3 months. He would help those who were bullied get justice, prepare medicine for the ill for free, tell stories to the children, help vagrants, dancers, and streetwalkers find jobs. He never looked down on the residents and didn't dress flashily. And somehow both the market district gangs and police seemed to ignore him. How could such a person not be beloved? Leon paid for his drink and took the dreamlike green-colored glass and took a sip. At that moment, he saw a young man in a white shirt and black open vest holding a beer jump onto the table. "Everyone, look at me! I announce that Madame Force has published The Great Adventurer 8, 2 volumes in less than half a year. How incredible is this bum bitch now that her god has returned?" I'm not making that up. It says that verbatim in my book, I swear. For real. And by the way, I'm getting promoted with a raise. This will be my last drink here for the next 2 years. Can you believe it? I have truly mastered ancient Faesac, the language that only truly civilized people understand. What an excellent talent. I have passed the exam and got assigned overseas. I'm going to take an important position in Suhit. Congratulate me. The auberge de Côte d'Or is about to produce a truly civilized person. Leon watched with a smile, enjoying the chaotic and strangely harmonious atmosphere. He stayed there until 10 when he finally left the barn amidst the farewells and went up to the 3rd floor and entered room 302. Someone was already waiting for him. It was Lugano. "Your Grace, what brings you here?" Leon asked. Lugano is your Grace? Oh, this Leon's a bum bitch fella, then never mind. What? Where's his battle with hubris, the whole Greek tragedy is Odysseus' arrogance and its consequence? That is kind of there, Queen, but it's very subtextual. His hubris exists in the fact that he thought him winning the battle was all that mattered. He didn't think about the consequences of his actions, right? He wrestled with it in like the more vague sense, in the fact that he goes like, "Oh, we broke Zeus's law. We ruined this for an entire civilization, and like darkness now spreads," right? It was kind of subtextual to that, where like his hubris was not thinking that his actions would have such consequences. He didn't think beyond the, well, I will win this battle and I can return home. He didn't think of, what am I about to do to win this battle, right? So it's kind of there, but it's very subtextual. I do understand your point. Lugano glanced. Did they at least show his intelligence? It's hinted at in a sense, like it mentions it once or twice where it says like, you are the only general Agamemnon listens to because of your wisdom or whatever, but that's about it. It doesn't, it mainly focuses on his honor, where like, you know, he'll always like string his bow to warn the fucking prey or whatever that he's attacking and that sort of thing. But his intelligence, which is like basically his main characteristic, that they cut out. They did cut out the nobody part, which is so sad. They also cut out the reason, and then because they cut out the nobody part, they had to cut out the "remember my name, it was Odysseus who blinded you." They had to cut that out because the nobody part doesn't even make any sense anymore. So they just like, he just shot Poseidon's son in the eye as he was leaving, and that alone got him cursed by Poseidon. So changes, yes. Was that like the biggest change? No. Do I super care about that one in particular? Not really, because it does stand to reason to me that someone blinds their son, they would fucking know, but he shoots him in the eye, yeah. Lugano glanced at the subordinate and said, "Disease, be gone." Leon finally understood and returned the same gesture. "Disease, be gone. Praise the great Lord of Plague. Praise the God of Disease." "How many believers have you developed recently?" Lugano asked. "Following the revelations of your instructions, I haven't preached directly. Instead, by helping the residents here utilize their fear of disease, I have gradually formed a group of willing believers, forming the embryo of a congregation. Next, I will share my faith with the followers, speak of the greatness of the two malady gods, and your grace's mercy and grace." "Well done," Lugano said. "I have walked through Anarchy Street and several streets, hearing of your deeds. Remember, you must follow the church's precepts. First, no public preaching. Second, followers are allowed to also believe in EBS or the god of steam machinery or of other orthodox deities." "Yes, your grace. I would not pray for the god of disease, but what if we pray to the god of disease to not get sick? Checkmate. What if I pray to the Lord of Rain to keep the sunshine up, you know, to say like, hey, Lord." "Yes, your grace." Leon bowed his head. "No need to address me as your grace anymore. From today, you will be the bishop of this area, reporting directly to Her Holiness the Pope and receiving orders from him." Lugano, Leon's eyes lit up. "You deserve this," Lugano said. as he handed a small jewelry box to Leon. The mirror is for communicating with Her Holiness, the jewelry box containing the Warlock sequence potion formula and ingredients. A blessing from the god of plague and disease. Once you are ready, consume the potion and advance to Warlock. Thinking of the beyonder powers and miraculous spells he had witnessed from the Bishop, Lugano, and others, Leon became excited and said, "Praise the god of plague!" The jewelry box also contains some special spell documents that will help you master several spells for treatments and medicine preparation, without needing help from me or the other bishops. These can be used to treat common illnesses. For truly serious cases, recite the honorific name of the god of plague. Understood, Leon said. Thinking about how he would soon become a Sequence 7 and master truly supernatural powers, he trembled with excitement. Just over 3 months ago, he had been a pitiful man who was scammed by islanders, impoverished and desperate of life, wanting to take his own life. After leaving room 302 of the motel, Lugano returned to his previously rented apartment. He took out a mirror and placed it on the table. The lady, more ancient than times, servant of calamity, child of plague and disease, destroyer of those who walk in shadows, guide of lost lambs and Trier, the great god of plague, I beseech you, beseech thy grace. After saying his prayers, Lugano placed the already organized church affairs documents before the table, watching them pass through the veil and disappear. Soon text appeared. Before long, you shall become an archbishop overseeing multiple dioceses. A message that came directly from the Pope of the Church. Once again, Lugano became elated. Though he regretted no longer being a blessed who could report directly to the god of plague, LEMMiNO, he could only follow Her Holiness the Pope's instructions, and over these past few months he had not only acquired the acting method, but also gained Sequence 6 biologist potion formula and the corresponding ingredients, and was a Sequence 6. From Her Holiness to the Pope's words just now, after accumulating achievements for another year or so, he would have the chance to advance another sequence, becoming a druid, an archbishop. Yes, Your Holiness, Lugano said. Bye, Queen. Thank you so much for coming. In the luxurious villa where LEMMiNO and the others resided, Her Holiness, the Pope of the sick church, Jenna, sat on the sofa leaning against the god of disease, Franca Roland, reviewing Lugano's work report. After discussing, LEMMiNO and Franca decided to let Jenna be the first recognized sick church followers as Pope, which could also obtain anchors and explain changes in doctrine. In the future, if Jenna could advance to Sequence 3, they could use the method of both the god of plague and god of disease jointly issuing divine edicts to promote the meritorious Pope to a subsidiary god. Her related deeds would naturally become part of the church's what is this word? Catholicism? Catechism. Interesting. After that, they would gradually elevate her status, and after hearing Jenna's narration, Franca looked at LEMMiNO. I think our anchors are sufficient to support our advancement to Sequence 2. Besides, we can't preach on a large scale in Trier anyway. Not preaching publicly, but being able to develop some believers was the tacit understanding between LEMMiNO and the god of steam and machinery. MX, how's it going? In this aspect, the god of steam and machinery was rather accommodating. Previously, during the Holy Day in May, the Church of Steam held a large mass attended by tens of thousands in front of the Trier's patriarchal cathedral. The participants' emotions exceptionally high, becoming rather devout and fervent as they were influenced by the mass itself. And how'd you like the Bleach episode? I don't know, MX. I was kind of half watching it. Nah, I'm kidding. I loved it, dude. It was awesome. Anthony, as a believer of the god of steam and machinery, also attended this mass and secretly consumed this potion, amidst the emotional resonance of tens of thousands, becoming a Sequence 4 manipulator. Chris, you caught it, right? This was the Church of Steam's Grand Mass to simplify the ritual's execution. Other spectators didn't do this because it would be considered blasphemy and would be noticed by the corresponding true god, bringing down divine punishment, but the god of steam and machinery allowed Anthony to do so. LEMMiNO and Anthony had prayed at the Church of God of Steam's patriarchal cathedral in Trier beforehand and received permission. LEMMiNO put down his book and said, the current problem is that we cannot obtain the beyonder characteristics of either with a warlock or the demoness of catastrophe. According to info Franca gathered from the Demoness sect, they could confirm that the Demoness sect possessed at least 5 Demonesses catastrophe characteristics. 4 angels, grey, yellow, blue, and purple, and 1 artifact. Stiano, so nice. True. My go. When Goon stream. When I start doing streaming on Twitch. Lumin's numbers only had further learned that if a pathway had 3 sequence 1 angels, the corresponding sequence 2 angels could only number 6 to 8. In other words, the existence of a true god of the Demoness, and there were only 1 to 3 Demoness catastrophe characteristics outside the Demoness sect, all currently unaccounted for, if not at least amongst the Church of the Fool's forces. Similarly, the distribution of Weather Warlock characteristics was Einhorn family had 2 sequence 2 angels, the Sauron family had 1, and the Intus military had 1. This seemed to come from the outflow of characteristics after the Sauron family decline. The Iron and Blood Cross Order had at least 1 angel, but there was a corresponding characteristic, and there was 1 corresponding characteristic in the Blue Avenger Vault. In other words, at most 2 Weather Warlock characteristics remained unaccounted for, perhaps none at all. Before Frank and Jenna could respond, Lumin said, I plan to make a trip to Bansi Harbor. Where are we going to get the Beyonder characteristic? What, Alder's not going to give it? Ma'am Justice would be like, oh, I'm sorry, did you need to advance? Please. My dear, go right ahead. The fuck you mean he doesn't decide? It's his ship. At Bansi Harbor, well, the problem is, MX, it's a weird case, right? If they don't do the fan service, then it's not actually true to the source material. And if they do it, people are going to shit on them for doing it. So they're in a really, will they, won't they, Ross and Rachel bullshit. At Bansi Harbor by the Sonya Sea, after Lumin, Franca, and Jenna arrived, they saw endless ruins. Every building here had collapsed. With many blackened marks, wild animals now inhabited the area, occasionally letting out caw-caw calls of crows. Lumin had heard from Madame Magician about Bansi Harbor's destruction, but this was the first time actually coming here. From the information they had gathered, this used to be the territory of the Medici family, who believed in the god of weather. There is a chance that the weather warlock characteristic could be found here, but they were likely taken by Medici, Franca said. One guy got divorced over the episode. What, him and his wife were watching together and he bust out? Staring at the ruins of Bansi before him, Lumin felt like he was back in the disaster of Cordu. Standing there dazed, as he said, there is one purpose. To search around won't cost much. The other purpose is to find that special location Madame Magician mentioned, to use the corpse wax candle and complete the ritual contract. Since the Celestial Master was able to use the Professor and company as medium to locate the hidden sage and help Mr. Fool lock on, the Blood Emperor ritual contract should also be able to find where the remaining Weather Warlock characteristic is. As for someone who is barely counted as his blessed, is it too much to ask for this small favor? Dude, Kami, can you imagine though? That's the wife's first episode of anime and she's like, you're telling me you've been watching 386 episodes of this? Fired! In theory, it's possible, but it's too dangerous. It'd be better to accumulate contributions and seek revelations from Mr. Fool. He is the greatest existence at the top of the Seer pathway and should be able to divine clues about the remaining characteristic. Franca was not too fond of Lumin taking unnecessary risks, though this was his style. One can't just avoid being defiled from constantly touching pitch. Jenna nodded and said, you think I haven't sought revelations from Mr. Fool? Guess what his revelation was? Bansi. Alright, Franca grumbled. You two help me guard against accidents, Lumin said, placing his hand on his chest and bowing to pray to Mr. Fool. After the prayer, he activated the aura of Alista Tudor, the underworld Taoist seal in the dark pinhole in his hand. Guided solely by intuition, he delved deeper into the ruins. Franca and Jenna followed the several tens of meters behind him, one on each side. They had walked for nearly a quarter of an hour when Lumin stopped in front of a collapsed building. The walls of the building scattered, and there were only a few wooden pieces remaining. On the ground, it was scorched as if by lightning, were two human, vivid silhouettes. In the corner of these two shadows is a simple drawing depicting a tentacled monster. According to Mr. Hangman, this was the Bancy Harbor Telegraph Office. We were here! So it's here after all. Muttering, LEMMiNO walked up to two blood-colored human imprints and took out a pale yellow, semi-solidified candle. He then placed the corpse wax candle on the piled up, collapsed walls and ignited it using a friction of his spirituality. Seeing this, Jenna and Franca stopped in their tracks, not advancing any further. They were worried that they too would be affected by the candle's scent and passively drawn into the ritual contract. LEMMiNO sat down cross-legged and began cogitation. The sweet scented incense diffused in the stillness, gradually penetrating his nostrils, causing his bones to itch and his blood vessels to swell. Suddenly, a dark veil of mist appeared before his eyes. Unlike the previous contract rituals, LEMMiNO's drifting soul was immediately seized by an invisible force and yanked back into the depths of the mist the next moment, spinning, turning. You know, it's so funny, Kami. I was literally about to say, Kami, are you sure we're on the right music, bro? LEMMiNO regained his wits quickly and found himself standing in a spacious, bright room with rows of seats on both sides, accompanied by several people. Some of these people dressed normally, while others had a strange attire. LEMMiNO had not yet had the chance to examine them closely when he heard a shout nearby. El Hap, make way! LEMMiNO did not understand as he turned around, bewildered, facing a man who had just entered the door. A man wearing a white shirt, black vest, and a top hat, a look that matched the Eastern style Franca had described, holding a piece of paper. I said I was about to. I didn't, right? Because I trusted. LEMMiNO stepped aside and let the man pass, watching as he ran towards the front of the hall. The sound of the telegraphing echoed in the direction. LEMMiNO then realized this was a telegraph office and the people were waiting for responses. Many of the individuals who had already turned their gaze towards him. LEMMiNO pulled up his hood to obscure his face. Compared to a demoness's allure, wearing strange clothes was not a big problem. Outside the telegraph office, the situation became lively. Multi-story buildings of various styles, wide streets, occasionally black automobiles, yellow rickshaws Franca had mentioned passing by. Amongst the bustling people, some wore shirts, suits, and hats, others wore long robes and skull caps. Some in white shirts, black gowns, and baggy pants, their waists bulging as if they were hiding pistols, and some with their heads wrapped in red cloth, while others wore lace-trimmed and ruffled long dresses. LEMMiNO felt this was as prosperous as Trier. Ding ding! The clear sound echoed as the two-car tram supported by overhead tracks raced. The situation was familiar to LEMMiNO. He already knew this was called a trolley. However, unlike what he'd seen before, the passengers on the trolley were all normal, their attires indistinguishable from the people on the street. And none of them were just a head dragging a bloody spine. Their location was different from the previous street, or maybe that street was originally hidden and requires a special method to enter or see. My very special attires, combined with the issues in Bancy, have brought me more directly to this metropolis, LEMMiNO muttered. Even amongst the people being pulled by rickshaws, there were no ladies with pus-filled, bruised faces concealing them with fans. Aside from not understanding the language around him and the scarcity of people who resembled his own appearance, LEMMiNO did not see any problems with the city before him. Yeah, no one's gonna fucking resemble your appearance, bro. You're a Sequence 3 demoness. I don't fucking walk down the street expecting everyone to look like Prime Megan Fox. In terms of the side effects of the ritual contract, this could be considered a failure, as if he had gained nothing, not touched upon any mysteries. After contemplating for a while the feeling of being thrown into a foreign land without a good translator, LEMMiNO followed the guidance of his own spirituality. They're Asian while he's Western, bruh? Oh, I'm sorry, Kami, I don't see race, okay? I'm sorry. I see that that's who you are. You're European, so I get it, it's part of your culture, I'm gonna let it go. But I don't see race, okay? Don't bring it up in my chat again. I'll have you know, damn it. Fuck. One of these days I'm gonna get through without laughing at the end. Fuck, I was so close. Kami. One of these days. One of these days. In terms of the effects of the ritual, this could be considered a failure, as he had gained nothing and not touched upon any mysteries. After contemplating for a while, with a feeling of being thrown into the foreign land without a good translator, LEMMiNO followed the guidance of his own spirituality and gradually moved away from the prosperous downtown. After entering narrower alleys, the architectural style on both sides became more peculiar. Stone door frames, thick black wooden doors, and tall walls. LEMMiNO tried extending his right hand to touch the wooden utility pole, only to see his palm pass through. Am I in a soul body state? No. It should be a pure spiritual and mental state, but I can't see, but I can still be seen by people around me. As LEMMiNO analyzed as he continued walking, navigating through the tangled wires, laundry lines, and haphazardly piled debris, he reached an area with many residences. And the fact that he caught his eye was a strangely shaped wooden tower. This was very similar to the fog core he had seen previously, but in the sunlight, the wooden tower had lost the indescribable sense of terror. In front of the wooden tower was a large house and green trees, all enclosed by a yellow wall, preventing anyone from scaling. The open wooden doors at the main entrance saw a constant flow of people in and out, all appearing normal. Is this what Franca calls a temple? LEMMiNO pondered for a moment, then followed the crowd in. Is he gonna walk into the tower of the or like a temple of the celestial master? I want to say celestial master. He pretended to be sightseeing as he approached. Along the way, he noticed that the monks of this tower or of this temple were divided into several categories. With vastly different attire, they did not seem to interact much with each other. The two most numerous groups were one wearing blue robes and tall hats resembling the Celestial Master style, and the other with shaved heads, either wearing dull grey robes or yellow inner robes with red outer garments. When LEMMiNO approached the point near the wooden tower, two types of monks blocked his path. Although he did not understand what they were saying, he got the message to stop. LEMMiNO did not argue and turned back. During this, he discreetly observed the environment, noticing that the monks were dispersed along the path leading to the wooden tower, some openly, some secretly, using beyonder powers. They were guarding the wooden tower, not allowing outsiders to enter. As LEMMiNO made this judgment, he abandoned the idea of trying to teleport there or use the mirror world. It is interesting. Where is this? You should know where we are? Okay, is it Japan? That's where I want to say. I don't think... Wooden towers doesn't give me China vibes. But they don't talk about Japan, they only talk about China. And China hates Japan. So, I don't know. If the wooden tower was indeed the core location indicated by the ritual contract, the guards would be prepared against such methods. Thinking of how he had previously entered the tower using a mental contract, LEMMiNO found a hidden spot and tried to replicate it. As soon as he completed the cogitation, he started levitating, floating to the wooden tower through the suddenly spreading dark mist. Soon, LEMMiNO reached his destination but was blocked by an invisible force, only able to descend down, preparing to enter through the door. The floating sensation faded and the enveloping darkness dissipated. This time, LEMMiNO clearly saw the situation at the wooden tower's entrance. There stood a weathered stone stele. LEMMiNO could not decipher the state on the stele, but understood its meaning. The inscription read, "Gather the world's might, halve the ranks of the brave, binding the malevolent dragon, quelling the calamity it gave, erected by the fifth celestial master." Binding the malevolent dragon. Damn. Now do you know? Bro, the term Celestial Master has no fucking bearing to me. I don't know. Am I dumb? I don't know. He said erect. MX, the sheer strength of character it took for me to say erected by your mom, you do not understand. Every ounce of my being, and then I was like, no, this is serious, god damn it, this is an important plot point, get it together. Every fiber of my being, I was like, I can't root for people who are reading with me for the first time. I can't ruin the experience for them. I will do it if it's funny and it's like minor stuff, but every fiber of my being wanted to, god damn it. Is my mic's broken, isn't it? It's still working, let's go! Okay, it was supposed to. It normally breaks when it disconnects, but we're fine. Binding the malevolent dragon erected by the fifth celestial master. LEMMiNO recalled what he had seen in the previous ritual contract, vaguely understanding something. He did not stop there, passing by the weathered stone stele and entering the wooden tower. The tower had no gas lamps or lit candles, relying solely on the dim sunlight filtering through the thin paper windows. This did not hinder LEMMiNO's examination of the surroundings. He found the first floor of the tower to be unusually spacious, with towering, intersecting beams and columns, and a stone staircase leading to the downward area. See, this seems like one of those fucking monk things in like Japan, no? Like, am I crazy? Like one of those fucking monasteries or whatever. Familiar with the situation, LEMMiNO confidently approached the staircase, shrouded in the shadows. After a moment, he suddenly looked up to the side in an exceptionally dark environment, seeing a young man in dark clothing crouching on a wooden crossbeam. The man had a thin face, a slightly broader forehead, and reasonably good features. His black eyes bright and lively, his figure seemingly merged with the darkness. I told you where? It's the Western continent? Brother, that's all of Asia is the Western continent. That's of no utility to me. I know it's the Western continent, but like, what is that? Oh, you're saying he didn't go back in time? Oh, you're saying this is right now. He traveled in space, not time. Oh, I kept. Oh, shit. Oh, Dude, I thought the fact that he had traveled through time was a given. The space was like, okay. I was like, okay, where has he gone? I thought you guys were. I didn't realize time was not a given. Oh, I thought for sure he was like seeing like memories of a bygone time or some shit. I don't know. Don't say as if it's fucking crazy that a great old one can send people's consciousness back in time, okay? Don't fucking pretend like, wow, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Are you genuinely stupid? Have you been LARPing this whole fucking series, you idiots? You haven't comprehended one fucking thing. Don't do that, okay? Don't pretend like that would even be slightly fucking difficult for a great old one to do. Don't. As LEMMiNO were looking up, their gazes met, and his hood lost its concealing effects. The man muttered something that LEMMiNO did not understand with a disdainful expression and scurried up the higher floors, disappearing. Another outsider? He was able to bypass the monks and infiltrate this wooden tower? Am I crazy? A thin face, slightly broader forehead, reasonably good features? Is that not Amon's description near perfectly? Am I crazy? Like, yeah, he doesn't have the monocle, obviously, granted. But, like, is that damn near not a perfect Amon description? Am I crazy? Am I dumb? Japanese monasteries are legit copied from Korean China. That's what the Chinese want you to believe, MX. Don't fall for the Chinese propaganda. It went down the wrong pipe. Oh god. LEMMiNO, with his night vision, was not hindered by the darkness and tried to track down the man, but couldn't find any traces. Vaguely feeling that the other party was still observing him, LEMMiNO smiled at the ceiling. Charm. A charm directed at all human beings present. With a thud, the young man fell from somewhere, crashing onto a horizontal beam. He cursed in a language LEMMiNO did not understand and scurried up the tower like a lizard. LEMMiNO did not understand his cursing, but felt it was something similar to "damn it." Confirming the young man was no longer watching him, LEMMiNO descended the steps, disappearing into the shadows. After an unknown time, he reached the bottom of the wooden tower, seeing the ancient well hidden in the darkness, the moss-covered stone blocks and the iron chains extending from the blocks. Numerous bas relief... What is bas reliefs? Were carved into these... What? Depicting countless grotesque and distorted faces. It's similar to Chen Chu's armor. Was the Underworld Taoist already involved in the binding of the malevolent dragon matter? Or his teacher's teacher? LEMMiNO knew that the Celestial Master corresponded to the Mystery Prior and Savant pathways, and these iron chains did not seem to be his handiwork. Celestial Master corresponds to Mystery Prior and Savant. Savant has a god. Mystery Prior uniqueness was taken. So at most, this guy would be what? Sequence 1 of Mystery Prior? Maybe several sequence 1s? Like a King of Angel and then a sequence 2 of Savant? At most? I don't know. Unless there's a third in the mix that he's a god of, and then he has that stuff on top. That would make him a fucking killer. Unless there's like another sequence from like outside that's part of this fucking Christ. Fix it. God. That's part of this interchangeability paths. And he's the god of that, and then like a King of Angels or like, you know, angels of these pathways, that would make him strong. Sorry, I'm just moving things around. I just want to do this a little bit more leisurely. Okay. Peeking out, LEMMiNO's gaze descended to the bottom of the well, seeing a surface of what had appeared to be the combined blood of thousands upon thousands of people. DJ, how's it going, man? The liquid bizarre and emanating a strong stench of blood and rust. Instinctively, LEMMiNO raised his hand to his nose and found that he was not bleeding as he had previously during the ritual. His condition quite good. Is it because I have accepted the boon of calamity and obtained the power of a war bishop? So I'm essentially one of them? As LEMMiNO thought, looking at the dense bloody water that did not reflect his head or face, and spoke in an ancient Hermes. O mighty great existence at the pinnacle of calamity, your humbled blessed wishes to ask where I can obtain a characteristic to help me advance. LEMMiNO had always been thick-skinned, so these words came easily to him. However, he was not sure if the so-called malevolent dragon locked at the bottom of the well would be able to understand. To facilitate the understandings of others, he did not use beyonders like Weather Warlock or Sequence 2 or Mythical Creature. The people of this continent previously probably hadn't seen the blasphemy slate. After a brief, indescribable silence, the surface of the blood-colored water revealed a scene. A rotting, pus-oozing arm and a broken armor propping itself on the ground higher than the crumbled stone pillar. Pus oozing from the cracks, mixed with invisible flames that ignited the air, the ground, and everything. Lumen hastily retracted a few steps, not daring to look at it. The aura of Alista Tudor in his palm told him the scene corresponded to the fallen divine corpse of Alista Tudor. Is there a characteristic there? Lumen nodded, returning to the edge of the well, staring at the dense blood water. The surface of the blood had changed and was now filled with darkness, and a tall, silent figure seemed to be observing Lumion. Relying on his intuition, Lumion deduced this was the mirrored Alista on the Blue Avenger's vault. Can I not obtain the Weather Warlock characteristic without avoiding Alista Tudor? Wouldn't getting it from the Iron and Blood Cross Order President be easier? Lumion had furrowed his brow when a tremendous suction force emanated from the well. Lumion, unable to resist, as this was both the instinctive pull of a high-level characteristic and the boon he had received, given his current pure spiritual or mental state, dragged into the well, sinking. In the blink of an eye, he tried to activate the aura on his right shoulder to teleport. His body touched the surface of the liquid, passing through without creating the slightest ripple, just as a high-sequence demoness would enter the mirror world. Lumen realized wet waters were mirrors. Water surfaces were mirrors, wet waters, genius. I'm not entering the place where the malevolent dragon is bound, with the corresponding mirror world. His vision darkened, then turned red, and his entire being submerged in the bloody water. The stench of the blood and rust permeating his nostrils, trying to fill his lungs. Lumen did not feel any pain, but rather a sense of comfort, as if he had returned to his source, to the homeland he had longed for. The sea of blood seemed to have no surface, and seemed, no matter how hard he tried to float up, he could not escape it or breathe fresh air. He saw countless corpses drifting past, some headless, some only with heads dragging a spine. Lumen followed these bodies, wanting to see where they would drift, floating alongside them, moving with the flow of the current. The headless bodies and those heads with their dangling spines became more and more dense, forming a blockage. It was as if there was an exit nearby, but the influx of corpses had clogged it. Lumen chose to bypass the congested area and approach the destination from the side. Water is in fact not wet. This is known, MX. Wet is the condition an object gets after being in contact with water, but water itself is not wet. While he could not squeeze through, he just wanted to see what the situation was. After swimming for a while, Lumen saw the target location, a dark, gaping black hole, blocked by thousands of corpses, an endless school of fish. The bodies jammed in the hole were already bloated, the patches of blackish blue decaying on the surface. Lumen associated this with the lady riding the rickshaw, using a fan to cover her pus-bruised face. Did she escape here, or is she the controller of these corpses? Lumen shook his head, doubting he had any chances to squeeze through. There were too many bodies, and he did not know what changes burning them down may bring. At that moment, the hole shook violently, as if someone was trying to break through the tunnel. A large number of the corpses blocking the hole were swallowed in, as if allowing those who were behind to finally approach, causing some of the lightless water to ripple out. Affected by the disturbance, Lumen was pushed away, and the blood-red scene before him faded to an illusion. In the illusion, he saw a huge, coiled black shadow. The shadow lying at the bottom of the well, occupying an area comparable to the size of Trier. Lumen was drawn in, but could not approach or clearly see the shadow. One was in the shadow, another in reality. In front of the shadow was several tens of kilometers wide and long, paved the grayish-white-black stone, with pillars of black, blood-red, and grey-white supporting an invisible barrier, preventing a blood-red sea from invading. Grayish-whites would be like would be demoness, right? Blood-red sea would be like hunter. Lumen found himself standing on the square, and before him was a full-length mirror made of pure silver mixed with other metals. Seeing this mirror, Lumen's mind tensed. Isn't this the same as the Blue Avenger vault, the one concealing mirrored Alista? Why is there one here? Or why does the one in the Blue Avenger lead to this one? Are they the results of Alista's various experiments? Lumen wanted to move away from the full-length mirror so as to avoid having his own image reflected, but a figure trapped within had become visible on the surface. The figure, clad in blood-stained armor, with hair flowing faintly glowing with a reddish light. His features sharp as if carved by a knife, his lips tightly pursed, exuding a resolute, unyielding aura, his blue eyes filled with cruelty and madness. In the next moment, he extended his hand through the mirror, stepping out as if completely unconcerned about Lumion seizing the opportunity to attack. I'm not trapped in here with you. You are trapped in here with me, and you just brought me my weapon. The mirrored Alista Tudor? Lumion was not familiar with his game. He did not seize the opportunity to attack, nor did he wish to, but because he was stunned for a moment by the assault of the mad psyche, before breaking free. The burning heat and stinging pain in his palm became more profound, as if he wanted to collaborate, to fuse with the vessel of his current version in the mirror. Alista Tudor stood nearly 3 meters tall, gripping a just-formed, gigantic flaming sword. The sword burned with a purplish hue. Alista's eyes, filled with cruelty and madness, looked at the blood-soaked Lumion and asked, "Where is your sword?" As his words left his mouth, he took a stride forward to stand before Lumion, raising the flaming sword and bringing it down. Lumion finally recovered from his shock and drew the sword of courage, blocking the strike. Amidst the clash of metal, the streams of bluish-purple flame scattered, and Lumion was knocked flying. Crack! He used mirror substitution proactively, trying to escape the flames of Alista. Alista, dragging the sword, said, "Too weak." As he spoke, the city-sized square was engulfed in flames, and the transparent, almost invisible spider web-like strands revealed, all burning violently, no longer able to restrict or affect Alista. Bro, I love how Alista Tudor just constantly has a fucking AoE attack around him. He's like, no. If you want to attack me, this shit won't do. Gotta do something stronger. I'm just gonna burn this shit. He has a fucking city-sized AoE active at all times. Oh, you want to talk about aura? No, I can't. I was literally about to go back to talking about. I was about to go back to talking about the Odyssey, bro. Aura Memnon, truly. Wait. The mystical pathogens Lumion had spread earlier were dissipating in the intense heat and burning, with only the fire-resistant ones barely hanging on. Seeing this hell, Lumion carved a wall of crystalline, transparent frost around him. Sizzling, these frost walls were vaporized under the assault of the bluish flames and terrifying heat. The white mist obscured Lumion's figure, making him disappear from Alista's sight. Behind the mirrored Emperor, Lumion's figure took shape, his eyes deepening, reflecting Alista's armor. He wanted to curse the opponent, one of the few ways he had to harm him. Then fog rose up, shrouding Alista, preventing Lumion's spiritual perception from extending beyond 10 meters. True fog of war. Lumion's body concealed its form. Then Alista's scornful voice reached Lumion's ears, flashy but useless. Accompanied by this remark, explosions took over the square, indiscriminate and large scale. The fog of war thinned as a result, and Lumion's projection shattered, and even his main body had to use mirror substitution. The entire square was left in ruins, only the ornate full-length mirror remaining intact. Is this full-length mirror another one of the fucking God Almighties? What the fuck is this thing? It's reminding me of Eridas. So many fogs in this novel. Yep. As Lumion stabilized himself, he saw the mirrored Emperor rushing towards him with a force of a mountain, slashing down the sword. A sudden grey-white burst from Lumion. Wherever it passed, the flames froze and turned to stone. As the grey-white wave approached Alista, the Blood Emperor, with only remnants of his power, set ablaze, accompanying the streams of flames. These flames flew out to the sides and upward, avoiding Lumion's petrification. Converging behind Lumion, reforming the nearly 3-meter-tall Alista Tudor. With a sweeping motion of the sword, Lumion's body shattered and dissolved into mirrors. This time he used teleportation in conjunction. His destination was behind the full-length mirror. He swung the Sword of Courage with ablaze with scorching flames. He felt the full-length mirror and the mirrored Alista closely connected, and destroying it may prevent the enemy from maintaining his form. Can I say it? If this is the mirrored person of a true god, Lumion should have been dead. He felt the full-length mirror. The earlier large-scale explosion where Alista deliberately controlled the direction and provided necessary protection, not allowing this mirror to be damaged, was evidence. Even if I can't beat you, I can beat the mirror. In Lumion's eyes, Alista transformed into a bluish-purple spear thrusting towards him. Even if it's at a angel level. It has to be at least an angel level. Angel is another qualitative difference. He did not retreat, letting the Sword of Courage descend. The mirror suffered a tremendous blow. Without even a cracking sound, it disintegrated, and at the same time, the spear pierced through Lumion's body, igniting him. The spear fell behind Lumion, reforming into Alista. His face bore unconcealed mockery, his figure not showing any instability or illusion. It was an intentional weakness, a displayed trap. On the fog sea, in the starlight condensed treasure vault of the Blue Avenger, the full-length mirror at the end of the corridor split open without a sound, cracks forming, and glass slid down. On the deck of the Blue Avenger, Mr. Hangman and a few sailors suddenly felt the ship rocking violently as if caught in a storm. In the sky, the fog descended, clouds piling in an imminent downpour. Within a square shielded from thick blood water, and a black coin bag flew up. In a black coin bag, a mirror flew up, and Lumion leapt out, retrieving the Sword of Courage in the traveler bag, showing no retreat or fear, power surging from the pinhole in his palm. And demonesses are a bitch to kill, I know. He showed no retreat or fear, his strikingly handsome face taking on a more heroic, masculine air. He utilized the power of a war bishop to obtain through a boon. Of course, a demoness of an agent combined with a war bishop still should not be a match for the mirrored Alista Tudor. Even if he did not use much of his weather warlock abilities, he still displayed overwhelming power. Lumion's purpose was not the war bishop itself. He wanted to leverage the unique origin of this power. It originated from a boon of the corpse wax candle's target, from the depths of the well, most likely related to the massive shadow coiled over the square. In this case, Lumion was effectively the bestowed of the other party, and the current battlefield was in the mirror world at the bottom of the well. In other words, Lumion might be able to use the angelic power by appealing to the special environment. Furthermore, with the war bishop's boon, he was now truly a half-male, half-female, yin nurturing yang, yang containing yin, extremely close to the higher powers. Seeing this, Alista Tudor did not frown, the madness in his eyes intensifying, wanting to use the battle to tell Lumion this was meaningless. Failure shall be your destined end. At this moment, a dark shadow from the coiled black mass expanded out, penetrating the invisible barrier surging behind Alista Tudor. The dark, illusory, transparent shadow seemed to lead to an unknown world. Lumion's thoughts became hazy, as if hearing layer upon layer of faint ethereal voice. He then saw Alista put away the bluish sword, glancing at him. Alista so cold, man? This is genuinely fighting him would be the scariest of fighting all gods, I think. Not great old ones, sure, because they're, again, qualitative difference. But fighting him might be the scariest of all gods, I'll say it. He has not only the strength of a god, he has the strength of a god of war, he also has the strength of a crazy god of war. Fighting a crazy human is already scary. Fighting a crazy god of war is nuts. It's literally like fighting Kratos. This blood-soaked armored mirror person harumphed, no longer attacking, turning and walking back to the shadow. That's it? Of course, he did not think that Mirrored Alista gave up because he feared the aid Lumin had invoked. It was more like someone had dissuaded him. Who could dissuade a half-crazed Alista? The one he fucking... I'll say it. As Lumin pondered, he felt his mind beginning to grow weary, his consciousness weakening. Do you think even now, the goddess is like, or goddess, the demoness is like, don't. He's almost there. You can then reawaken in his body and truly be back. We are so back. The ritual contract was nearing its end, and as Lumin looked around, choosing to enter cogitation, disconnecting from the contract state. In Bansi Harbor, within the ruins of the telegraph office, Lumin opened his eyes. The powers of a war bishop receding. What happened? Franca asked. Lumin had to use the power of a war bishop during the boon ritual. Lumin was about to respond, but had a premonition, turning his gaze to the western sky. On the fog sea aboard the Blue Avenger. Inside the violently shaking, nearly shattering ship, a deep purple hurricane light surged, heading eastward. Seeing this, Mr. Hangman furrowed his brow. On the sunny coastline, unarmored. Oh, hold on. This music I gotta lock in now. Bro, get all the members of the Terror Club. We need reinforcements now. We need all the reinforcements we can get our fucking hands on, bro. Unarmored, simply wearing a shirt and pants, now more human-like, Medici lay in bed, legs crossed, watching a purple light fly over. Then he smiled at Albus, saying, "Why didn't I attack Lumion Lee in the Dream City? Of course, it is because I'm waiting for him to trigger all the problems left behind by that lunatic. The paths to be taken, someone must help us take it. The traps to be stepped on, someone must step on them for us." True, the goat. Thanks, Harsh. Thanks for coming, buddy. In St. Malome in the Faesac Empire on the coast of Midseashire, Snarer Einhorn, with his flamboyant golden earrings and deep red hair, was toying with some jewelry when he raised his head to look southward. He was surprised, then a look of confusion crossed him, and he remained in his room. Far in the distance in the coastal region of the Fainapotter Kingdom, the deep blue light flying faster and faster, having already escaped the encompassing hurricane, leaving behind the rumbles. In a certain location in the Intis Republic, the grizzled, blue-uniformed leader of the Iron and Blood Cross Order, Deist, with his neatly combed hair, iron-black eyes, and prominent wrinkles, withdrew his gaze from his chest set and looked up, almost transforming into a deep purple iridescent rainbow, and shot up, but he controlled himself. He muttered, "The disturbance is so great, all the deities must be watching. Will the angels of the Orthodox Church try to seize it?" Under the observations of numerous gazes, the deep purple light crossed over the Fainapotter Kingdom, but no one came to stop it. Dude, do you think all the gods are going, "You know, I'm having a really busy day. You wouldn't believe it. I have like so many prayers to respond to. I have to get them done today. Do you mind taking care of that?" I would. Trust me, I I would help. But I'm so busy. You mind taking care of this one? I'll get you next time, for sure. For sure. In Bansi Harbor, when Lumen turned his gaze westward, Frank and Jenna followed his line of sight, but saw nothing. What are you looking at? Frank asked. I feel the full-length mirror in the Blue Avenger has shattered, and the Weather Warlock characteristic hidden is now crossing the northern continent, flying to me. What? This can happen? A classic trope where the treasured item comes to seek you out on its own. They had come to Bansi to seek out clues of the remaining characteristic, and now one characteristic was crossing thousands of miles to see him? Lumen estimated the time and said, we'll need to start with my recent secret deed ritual. And Franka's eyes lit up, in the interest of the story Lumen was about to tell. Jenna was the same, as she reminded Lumen, aren't you going to prepare? What if that characteristic isn't coming to join you, but to kill you? You can recount your experiences and the reasons behind everything after it's all over. No need to waste time now. They should make preparations, like appealing to Mr. Fool to watch over us, or summoning a messenger from Madam Magician, and promising to exchange the post-apocalyptic scripture for one round of assistance. In any case, they needed to prepare for a potential battle with an item manifested by the Weather Warlock characteristic. Haha, no need, Lumen said. They may be flying fast, but it'll take an hour to reach here. Can't teleport? Just use mirror traversal. Can't use mirror traversal either, so it's so troublesome and slow. Jenna was at a loss. Want to get intercepted? Frank asked. If one of the Orthodox churches take it, we can negotiate it, and use the post-apocalyptic scripture to make a trade. After all, this thing speaks in riddles and isn't very useful, just a hassle. But if the evil god worshippers try to take it, with such a commotion, wouldn't they just expose themselves? Although the post-apocalyptic scripture was quite useful for responding to believers, there were a few wishes it couldn't fulfill through bestowing good fortune, but as a fate appropriator, no one could handle such things himself. True, Franka thought. Why don't you just go out to welcome the characteristic? It's come all this way. You should show how much you value it. We'll see. Lumen wasn't actually sure what the characteristic was, or if it was a Grade 0 artifact wanted to do, so it's better to wait. This place had been devastated by the Church of Storm, had no humans left, only the occasional adventurer or pirate coming by. And earlier today, Lumen had confirmed that aside from the three of them, only animals remained on the island. Very suitable for a place for demigods to battle, without worrying about killing people. Franka glanced around, gaining a general understanding. Still, do the preparations, Jenna said. Tell us about the deed ritual later. In case some unexpected thing comes up, who knows, some high-ranking being will kindly help shorten the distance, with that characteristic letting it arrive. Lumen accepted Jenna's suggestion, praying or summoning messengers through a round of preparations. He then began recounting from when the consciousness manifested in that eastern city telegraph up to the point where Alista, despite having a clear advantage, voluntarily withdrew. Before Frank and Jenna could respond, Lumen asked, what did that person who infiltrated the wooden tower mean when they muttered those words after seeing me? He then mimicked the other party's pronunciation, and Franka pondered and laughed. He was cursing bad luck. Meaning, it's bad luck to run into the likes of you. What did I do? Lumen said. Or has he been deceived by a beyonder of this pathway before? I guess in the Western continent, they don't have good reputations of demonesses. Bro, no one has good reputations of demonesses. You think we have good reputations over here? Franka said. I think he'd really been scammed by a demoness before, or a normal person wouldn't curse bad luck just from seeing you. And judging from this, the Weather Warlock characteristic coming may not necessarily be a good thing. I can smell the scent of a conspiracy. Kill you? It's neither an ambush nor a hidden environment, so it's almost impossible to kill Mr. Fool's Saint unless someone holds back Mr. Fool. Unless the evil gods have completed their invasion and the apocalypse has come. Otherwise, anyone able to stop Mr. Fool wouldn't have an underlying motivation. Actively becoming your potion ingredient, letting you consume it to advance, then linking with the Alista Tudor aura to resurrect and occupying your body. Even for a plot, that's straightforward. Everyone could think of that, right? True. I should ask Mr. Fool to help shatter the characteristic, remove Alista's psyche. Even if I can't purge it, at least Alista won't resurrect in me. Then this should be an open stratagem. Alista wants me to become an angel. The resurrections preparations he has left behind will truly begin to manifest then. Medici previously said he would give me a chance, not likely because I was too weak for him to bother, nor out of any empathy. but he is waiting for me to ascend to an angel. So you mean Alista's goal is to help you advance, and it doesn't matter whether you choose whether Warlock or Demoness? Using that characteristic or something else, the end will be the same? Probably. That's why Alista was able to retain his madness and restrain his madness and killing intent. Bro, I love it. It's like, hey, the Orthodox gods help me. Mr. Fool helps me. The Aurora Order helps me. Adam helps me. Alista Tudor helps me. Medici helps me. But only for a time. You're like, bro, you're at the peak. You're damn near at the peak of this entire fucking timeline. Chill. What's meant to come will come. I also want to see what awaits. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint, Lumin said. Chaos, chaos. With the apocalypse looming and a bit of chaos, there's a chance to win amidst the chaos. What do you think is Tudor's resurrection arrangements? Sure. So I think Tudor is planning to use the psyche left behind in his characteristics to resurrect inside Lumion. Yeah. Very tricky. As hours passed and the weakened and fatigued Lumion had recovered, suddenly a deep purple light shot across the sky, and as it drew nearer, it grew larger and larger, becoming visible to the others. A violent, burning mass of deep purple with a flash of pure blue. Interwoven with the flames were jet black metal rods, forming a massive skeleton. Yeah, but Kami, Alista Tudor hasn't thought of that, though. He forgot to consider that Mr. Fool could just break it. He didn't think of that. Lumin's outsmarting him. The flames, woven with metal bones, trailing along feathers, giving the whole the appearance of a colossal bird with a wingspan of 12 meters. The intensely burning purple-blue giant bird had not even approached the Bansi harbor, but the weeds, trees, and edges of the ruin all ignited. Cracking sounds rang out as Bansi was involved in flames. At the same time, a disdainful voice was heard in Lumion's ears. "Dare you face me?" Spoken in ancient Hermes. Lumin gained an epiphany. There were several layers of this facing. Dare you withstand my attack alone and endure? Dare you ascend to weather Warlock using this characteristic I extracted? Have you the bravery for this? And Lumin made up his mind and said to Franca and Jenna, "You two should leave." They exchanged glances without saying much, and in a critical moment believed in Lumin's judgment. Franca reflected layers of darkness, then grabbed Jenna's hand and departed through the mirror world. Lumin shifted his gaze back, looking at the giant bird blotting out the sky, and reached into his traveler bag, withdrawing the post-apocalyptic scripture. The moment it was withdrawn, it began to turn pages on its own, arriving at one of the pages. It was a prophecy written by Lumin's thoughts. Lumion Lee will emerge victorious in this battle thanks to his exceptionally good fortune. Sorry, 1 second. As the mercury-colored text shimmered, the purple giant bird began circling, trailing its feathers. It had not yet revealed its complete mythical creature form, for if it had, Lumion would not continue playing with it. Clouds amassed, looming low over the ground. In the blink of an eye, a torrential downpour plummeted, as if the sky had split open. The deluge quickly formed into a massive water column, pouring down to Lumion, but he did not move an inch, simply drawing upon the War Bishop's boon power to become both male and female, a more androgynous beauty. The descending downpour slowed more and more, and soon freezing in the air, reflecting the sunlight to reveal a crystalline, translucent appearance. The layer of ice continued growing upward. The layers of ice upward from Lumin, drawing in the abundant rain in its frigid domain, creating an illusion of a rainbow. With a clattering sound, the The subsequent rainfall was blocked by the solid ice sheet sliding off towards the other areas of Bansi, combining with the earlier deluge of the already damaged drain system, flooding the ruins. Sheltered by the layers of ice, Lumion observed his surroundings, puzzled by the manifestation of the purple-flamed giant bird's abilities. This truly had the might of the heavens and the earth. If it kept raining for another hour or two, combined with the seawater rushing in, the entire harbor may be submerged. But in the realm of angelic combat, this is rather useless. What angel would drown? Unless it keeps raining until the mountainside collapses, there may be a good chance to pose a threat to angels. But this is excellent for slaughtering the ordinary people and low sequencers, befitting, truly, the path of war. As Lumion was pondering, the flames pierced through the thick clouds extending its head. Amidst the dark clouds, silver lightning snaked, flashed, converging into a lashing bolt, striking the crystalline ice, unable to conduct through, shattering. The thunderous sound reverberated as countless electric snakes plunged into the pooled water of Bansi, darting to form a vast spiderweb covering the area. Crackling sounds rang out, and Lumion understood the purpose of the downpour. The thunderous sound reverberated as... to make the subsequent lightning strikes more destructive and far-reaching. But Lumion himself stood on dry soil, surrounded by the nearly insulating layers of ice, unaffected. In the next moment, lightning formed, more magnificent and colossal, like a silver-white divine tree connecting the heavens and the earth. It struck the thick ice sheet, shattering the barrier as if carrying the horrific kinetic energy or releasing stored power. Rumbling, the thunder waves spread as the terrifying lightning cracked through layers of frost, reaching the top of Lumion's head. Lumion's body cracked and shattered, like a mirror, yet a silhouette remained within the area protected by the ice, still discernible. Plummeting from the sky, the flamed bird spread its wings like a meteor, crashing to Lumion. The nearby rainwater vaporized, diffusing as mist to welcome the bird's descent. The ground set ablaze, and the remaining walls ignited, and Lumion's body set on fire. The bird struck the ground, kicking up a mushroom cloud of dust. Lumion's body shattered once again, the original ruins either reduced to ash or blown away. At the bottom of the crater formed by the explosion and melting, two blood-stained silhouettes resembling human pulp appeared. Lumion's androgynous figure manifested in the air opposite, his blue-pale eyes reflecting the image of this purple-flamed giant bird, as he prepared to unleash a demoness's curse. The surrounding mist thickened, transforming from scalding steam into a fog of war. Wait, even this is at least a tutor helping him, no? Because as soon as he kills it, the weather instantly changes and Lumion can go, done? Lumion lost his lock-on, unable to effectively apply the curse. Immediately after, a tremendous, piercing howl arose and a horrifying hurricane formed over the sea, sweeping in towering azure waves over tens of meters high towards Bansi Harbor. A tsunami driven by the hurricane. Lumion's body slammed to the ground, shattering. The remaining building ruins in Bansi Harbor had just managed to retain some height that were all shattered, and the purple-flamed giant bird took to the sky, circling to search for the vanished target. At that moment, Lumion's silhouette emerged at the bottom of the crater with two human-stained silhouette-like imprints, the ashen white rushing up while the hovering purple towards the purple-flamed bird. Stones of solidified air fell one by one as the bird let out a shrill cry. Lumion's mind and body trembled as if hearing the incessant drum beats of an ancient battlefield. The purple fireball materialized in the air, densely packed to block out the sunlight. They plummeted with a roar, crashing into the advancing ashen white. Explosions rang out ceaselessly, and the ashen white flame statues flung in all directions. Lumion's created ashen white kept breaking and retreating until it finally disintegrated, leaving the remaining purple-black fireball to pummel Lumion. This time, the shattered mirror fragments dissolved. At this stage of the battle, the good fortune Lumion had gained from the post-apocalyptic scripture had not manifested, neither his attacks on the purple bird, nor on the giant bird's strikes on him developed into any kind of success or failure. Lumion's silhouette reappeared in an even deeper, larger crater. The purple flame giant bird did not relent, continuing to assault with various abilities. Lumion struggled to endure, relying on his mirror substitutions to evade fatal blows. As the entire evaluation of the harbor lowered by several as the entire elevation of the Bansi harbor lowered by several meters, about to be submerged by the sea, Lumion's substitutions had reached its limit. From then on, he could only afford the death of his real and mirror self. Circling high above, blocking the sky, the bird let out a soul-shaking cry, locking onto Lumion's figure about to plummet like a meteor, carrying his violent aura. Almost simultaneously, his body was stiffened, and the flames on the surface dispersed, the jet-black metal forming his neck, stretching impossibly long, as if torn apart. The bird writhed in agony mid-air, and the flames showering down, adding new blaze to the raging inferno of Bansi. This change was so sudden and bizarre, not caused by Lumion. Lumion had been on the defense the entire time, unable to find an opportunity to attack the opponent, and the pathogens he had spread were succumbing to the indiscriminate flames. However, Lumion was not all surprised by the predicament, a smile appearing on his flames as he watched the flame-filled bird driven to madness by the agony, manifesting his complete mythical creature form. Lumion averted his gaze. The fiery giant above, bearing the avian features, seeming to harbor deep, unfathomable knowledge, materialized a phenomena like lightning, hail, and hurricanes, causing the weather in this area to undergo violent change. Soon, the giant receded into the giant bird, plummeting earthward. Lifting his head, Lumion smiled. "Do you know what you've been attacking? The Bansi Harbor Telegraph Office. And are you an angel of the Hunter Pathway, while I am bestowed of the two apexes of calamity?" This was why Lumion had chosen to face the bird directly, not seeking assistance from the others, and remained fixed here, never fleeing. The telegraph office should be a leakage point connected to the metropolis of the western continent, linked to the malevolent dragon locked within the ancient well, but still able to influence the city. Using the corpse wax candle here could grant him a different, more advanced secret deed experience. In this context, the attacking of the telegraph ruins, assaulting Lumion, who had already extracted the war bishop power, and being an angel of the hunter path, then personally crashing into the leakage point had a significant probability of triggering anomalies and being subjected to the unseen. Of course, the anomaly was not a certainty, and the purple bird did not necessarily have to enter the office ruins, bombarding it as a meteor. That is why Lumion had used the post-apocalyptic scripture and to add good fortune. The prophesized outcome had come. So the celestial worthy, or the chained dragon? Huh? The purple flamed giant bird landed nearby, kicking up more dust and flames, its wings folding in, its body shrinking. Its final words emerging: "I acknowledge you are qualified. This has nothing to do with Tutor's arrangements." The purple flamed bird grew smaller and smaller until only points of light remained, ultimately its body transforming into a palm-sized, crystalline pillar. The various holes in the pillar containing mists, hail, rainwater, and lightning, and other meteorological phenomena, sometimes diffusing out, sometimes receding back. The scattered purple feathers and iron bones crystals littered the ground around it. Within the hold on, give me 1 second. Let me just get a drink. Give me 1 second. Literally 1 sec. Be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. Dude, this break feature is quite nice. I really like that YouTube added it. Lumin's smile faded. A blood-red bulge suddenly rose on his brow, the androgynous hues of his features receding. The bulge then retracted, crawling and slithering across his forehead and face, descending slowly down his neck, shoulders, and arms, merging with the remnants of Alista and the War Bishop Boone through the black pinhole covered by the pallid skin from the underworld Taoist ceiling. The pinhole expanded, the abysmal, lifeless darkness seemingly brewing with some kind of force. Lumin exhaled and collected the purple-blue crystal pillar, along with the purple feathers and iron bone crystals, and placed them in a mirror along his traveler bag. A raindrop fell on Lumin's head. 1, 2, 3, the raindrops growing more and more numerous. Influenced by the widespread burning and the residual powers of the weather warlock, the sky over Bansi and the surrounding seas had darkened, producing gloomy clouds. Lumin did not seek shelter or obstruct the rain, allowing it to soak him. As it fell, the rain grew colder, congealing into ice crystals and snowflakes. Thick, heavy snowflakes drifting over Bansi, blanketing the scorched earth, collapsed bricks, and other signs of destruction. He composed himself with the help of higher beings not easily obtained, even if this was not something he had actively provoked but brought about by the purple bird. The ice fell, and Lumin's hood and black robe were drying. He pressed his hand to his chest, thanking Mr. Fool for his gaze, then looked up. Beyond the snowflakes, Lumin saw the ever-ready-to-assist Madam Magician. The renowned author's expressions rather complex, as if seeing her past self forced to rapidly advance with the abundance of ingredients. But she could pause and take an extended rest. Later, considering whether to ascend to sequence 1, while Lumin could not, neither he nor the forces driving him would ever let him stop. Lumin nodded and greeted, then teleported back to the villa in Trier. Frank and Jenna were pacing, while Ludwig was enjoying a cake. Done? Frank asked. An item that cannot reveal its complete mythical creature form and is nothing to be afraid of. If it really uses its full power, I'll just call for help, Lumin said. Why didn't you just call for help in the first place? Jenna asked. The higher the sequence in the hunter path, the more courageous and boldness that is needed. I skipped Ironblooded Knight and War Bishop. Without the corresponding characteristics to provide a boost, I can no longer retreat and must face the difficulties. This may be implicit, hidden ritual condition for me to advance to Weather Warlock or an additional ritual. I see. For normal advancement, it is unnecessary for a Beyonder progressing step by step along the hunter path to sequence 3. The previous sequences have already provided the enhancements, but for sequence 3 switching, you may not be as filled with courage. It seems that to switch pathways at a higher sequence, there are hidden conditions to an extent stemming from the lack of previous sequence. Did you rely on the special qualities of the Harbor Telegraph Office to defeat the bird? You figured it out? What other abilities and items of yours do we not know about? Franka chuckled. A simple analysis can lead us to one conclusion. Relying on the apocalyptic scripture and the demoness trait can only delay things. Hoping the bird would acknowledge your strength, but victory is unlikely. Yet the way you acted clearly showed you achieved the win. Unable to do it alone, yet you didn't call for help, so you must have utilized some special conditions. You have some kind of talent, Lumin smiled. He surmised the key points of the battle, and the core idea being, with the target unable to reveal its complete mythical creature form, leveraging the demoness pathway's self-preservation abilities to guide the opponent to attack the harbor, while delaying until the anomaly arrived. So the supplementary ingredients are in place, and are you planning to advance soon? Why not? Lumin said. Setting aside the matters of reviving Aurora, do you think if I hold back and don't ascend, at least as preparations won't erupt? With the apocalypse looming and the situation becoming chaotic, when Mr. Fool and the others are occupied, they may seize the opportunity and force me to ascend. I have no choice. Since that is the case, it is better to take the advantage of the stable situation now, while Mr. Fool's awakening has deepened a bit and advance without external influence. This is so stupid, dude. Cuttlefish has written himself into such a fucking corner. 100 chapters? For the apocalypse. We have to deal with, at this point, the only way is we have to avert the apocalypse. I don't know if you can even do the apocalypse in 100 chapters. Like, what's gonna happen? You're gonna tell me, Adam is gonna say to them, Klein is gonna fully reawaken. We have Celestial Worthy. We have God Almighty. God Almighty is gonna go over to the Mother Goddess of Depravity and say, protect humanity from the other great old ones, and I'll put a baby in you. Absolute cinema. And that's how the fucking book ends. Like, what are we doing here, bro? 100 chapters? What are we doing? With the status and power of an angel, even if I encounter Lista's arrangements, I'll be able to at least struggle a bit, buy more time, and maybe wait until the help arrives. Frank and Jenna were only expressing their concern, not trying to prevent Lumion from becoming an angel. Seeing that Lumion had thought it through, and his analysis of pros and cons sound, they both agreed, urging him to pray to Mr. Fool, and asking him to shatter the characteristic and remove Alista's imprint. Although this may not have much impact on the subsequent arrangements, it would reduce the hidden dangers a bit. Lumion did not delay, busying himself with a specially prepared room and praying to Mr. Fool. After dripping the oil and offering the appeasement sacrament, the pillar placed on the ritual was enveloped by a murky darkness emerging from the candle, disintegrating into points of light. These points of light, as they settled and coalesced, released dozens of frenzied aura, occasionally condensing into distorted faces or roars. The reconstituted pillar appeared more pure. Praise be to Mr. Fool, Lumion said. Putting away the characteristic and dispelling the wall of spirituality, Frank asked, how do you plan to complete the ritual? I have an idea, Lumion said. Based on the books you've been reading these past few months, Jenna asked. That was my original plan, and I have a corresponding arrangement. But after factoring in my own abilities, I have found that a demoness of an agent who was once a reaper has a much simpler way to do things. Perhaps the truth of the calamity path is that one must transfer back and forth to get closer to the apex. So those who keep switching can take shortcuts when it comes to rituals. How? I'll tell you after. If I say it now and I fail, won't you mock me forever? Do you think you won't be mocked like this? Frank and Jenna said. They all exchanged a bit of playful banter for a while, as Jenna asked, when will you perform the ritual? First, I need to gather the ingredients, then wait for a typhoon or hurricane. The countries of the northern continent typically refer to such extreme weathers as hurricanes, while Intesians call them typhoons. In a thunderstorm, the residents staying underground watched as a silver-white lightning bolt struck the treetops, knocking down the people taking shelter in the trees. A lightning strike after other rampaged, even those in safe place shivering. After a while, some residents saw a figure next to the charred trees. A figure cloaked in black, hooded, like a witch. She took a blackened tree branch, causing the dark red drops of blood to fly out from the corpses. A witch indeed, they all frightened. In the southern part of Haganti Kingdom, the first snowfall of the year in exaggerated fashion, killing many livestock and piling up snow, blocking the doors of people. The people inside, struggling against the bitter cold, saw a hooded figure in black robes, seemingly a witch, walk on the ground, heading towards the bridge underpass. There were several frozen to death vagrants there. The heat-induced drought left many humans dehydrated, some unfortunately dying, their bodies dragged to the street. A tall hooded woman dressed as a sorceress approached, stopping in front of the deceased corpses, and people fled in fear. Powder Kingdom, on the Berserk Sea. Many experienced fishermen and captains began returning their ships to the harbor. The sky in the distance had turned gloomy, and the waves surged in, and the winds had picked up. Chris, we're going to 88, right? God damn it. Yep. The howling winds rampaged, slamming the doors, the trees trembling, and the winds and the branches bending. Philip, holy long time no see, brother. How you doing? The residents along the Berserk Sea coast had experience dealing with the hurricanes. They all had tightly shut their doors and windows, crossing tape and taking shelter away from the balconies and doors. Yet despite this, they had heard roarings, shrill winds outside, and felt their houses shuddering. They couldn't help but feel anxious and afraid the vagrants had taken refuge in the cathedrals or poorhouses. Amidst the towering, crashing waves that reached the sky, the hooded figure of LEMMiNO could be seen, his clothes flapping and his hood nearly blown off. Without the ability to fly or levitate, he surveyed the layered cloud walls surrounding the Typhoon's eye, unable to find the final coordinates of their spiritual realm in the chaotic environment. Thus, he activated the mark on his shoulder and teleported to the heart of the Typhoon. Simultaneously, the water droplets swirling in the area had just rapidly condensed to ice, the temperature plummeting. In the core of the Typhoon, LEMMiNO's figure barely materialized before the gale-driven winds, roaring like a speeding train, crashed. LEMMiNO was blown away, but he teleported deeper into the Typhoon, relying once again on the see and take method. Wherever he went, the rain froze into ice. After a few more jumps, he had reached his destination, the eye of the Typhoon. The wind seemed to vanish, and the high altitudes even revealed a clear sky. LEMMiNO didn't have time to admire this. His eyes seemingly turning a pitch black. As he plummeted, he observed his surroundings and the core structure of the Typhoon. Weakness investigation. A Typhoon, like anything else, had a weakness. In just a few seconds, the falling LEMMiNO spotted several large pallid areas. The Typhoon's weak points weren't just one. LEMMiNO teleported again, arriving near the largest pallid spot, looking down on it from above. At this point, if you were a pure Sequence 3, completing the next steps would be quite difficult. Even if you could skillfully use explosives and call, targeting the weak points and disrupting the core, the Typhoon may not truly dissipate. But for a demoness of an aging, why use such a method? As LEMMiNO continued falling, he took out a mirror reflecting the pallid area of the cloud and wall of Hurricane. Wasn't it curse the weak point and complete the cull? Of course. A demoness's curse couldn't target the soulless. What LEMMiNO wanted to do was transfer the Typhoon's weak point and flaws into the mirror world, a form of destruction, and could be repeated multiple times. Really? I gonna say, I thought LEMMiNO was just gonna look at the place and be like, and just bring out the previous time, and just be like, oh well. Catch you live tomorrow. I'm currently at your last video. Sounds good, man. I'll be live tomorrow. We're finishing Volume 7 on Wednesday, so tomorrow will be the second last day of Volume 7. What is up with you and time today? What, he's a demoness of an aging. He did that to the old lady, no? Couldn't he just be like, he gave her back her he gave her back her youth. Couldn't he just give this place back its good weather? Am I crazy? What LEMMiNO wanted to do was transfer the Typhoon's weak point and structural flaws in the mirror. Alright, bye buddy. Thanks so much for coming. See you tomorrow. This was a form of destruction, and it could be repeated multiple times. And you're saying there's no mirror that's looking out into this place right now? None? No one has a mirror that looks out a window? Okay, bro. No one has a window, because a window is a kind of mirror, and they can use that. But whatever. LEMMiNO raised his hand, rapidly brushing across the mirror's surface as he fell. A crack sounded. The mirror seemed to be unable to stand the strain. LEMMiNO unhesitatingly poured a large amount of spirituality, dragging that cloud wall of Hurricane into the mirror world. With a large section gone, cracks spread through the mirror in LEMMiNO's hand, and the Typhoon's core structure began to disintegrate. LEMMiNO used teleport and the ability to drag things into the mirror world to destroy the other structural weak points, not giving the Typhoon a chance to reorganize. The Typhoon is not reorganizing, bro. It's wind. Relax. On the coastline nearest the Typhoon, people observing the sea from their rooms noticed the winds dying down. In the distance, the surrounding clouds and fierce winds were pouring into a funnel. As onlookers blinked, they found another section of the hurricane had vanished. Piece by piece, it disappeared. Some mirrors in their rooms shattered, with a gust of wind blowing out. There were random remnants of winds that had escaped the mirror world after a long journey. After a dozen seconds or so, the sky in the affected area cleared. Gazing at the cloudless sky, LEMMiNO plummeted down. With a teleport, he appeared over the sapphire water, a thick sheet of ice forming beneath his feet. Under the deft pull of invisible spider silk, the violent blue crystal pillar, violet feathers, ironbone crystals, blood of varying shades, charred tree branches, and seemingly unremarkable clear water all flew out of the traveler bag. Silently, the slightly violet liquid that formed ignited, melting the glass and dripping down. Cupping the liquid, Lumen brought it to his lips and drank. His entire being set ablaze. Dense, dark clouds gathered in the sky, real lightning and hail coalescing, drawn to Lumen's state. At this moment, the spirit world's information of this area had not changed, still partially corresponding to the typhoon. A rapid influx of information of Lumen relying on his own abilities to change the weather, created an extremely strong connection between him and this area and the spirit world. Lightning struck, hail pelted, and various extreme phenomena assaulted Lumion as he was still burning. Hey there, how's it going? Lumion felt excruciating pain in his mind, body, and spirit, his thoughts growing more and more hazy. Because he was the destroyer, the changer, he would be rejected in the short term, inevitably. At this moment, as his mind blurred, he heard voices, Aurora's, Franca's, Jenna's, and various others. As his body tore apart, shattered, and turned to ash, including his mirror self and the him slumbering within the mirror. In the next moment, a wavering, violet-tinged blue flame ignited. A flame rapidly expanding and intensifying, forging within it iron-black bones, an indescribable tangle of complex symbols, forming a towering 5 to 6 meter long, 5 to 6 meter tall figure, like a legendary fire come to life. Immediately, Lumen's face coalesced, its iron-black hue gleaming with metallic luster, yet still clear and handsome and masculine. Blood-red hair sprouted, each strand as thick as a python, some rotating black and white eyeballs at the top, others opening jaws with venomous fangs. A complete mythical creature form blended with a demoness trait. In this moment, Lumion densely sensed the banner like 001 and the massive, shrouded black shadow lurking in the ancient well. Existences closely connected to him at the pinnacle of the pathways, and the former relatively clearer, the latter extremely hazy, as if cloaked by layers of grey fog. Cloaked by layers of grey fog. Obscured by the celestial worthy? Additionally, 3 more gazes cast upon him from afar, but he couldn't discern who they were. The hallucination, like sensing, vanished, and Lumen's body shrank. What do you think of his mythical creature form? I think Alista Tudor's coming back, bro. We're just describing him with the fucking eyeballs of a demoness. I know that has nothing to do with it, but I mean, it looks cool. I think I'm kind of not visually gifted like that, so it'd be nice if I could see it. But if there was like a image of it or whatever, or like artwork, but you know, it is what it is. His features had become even more handsome and sharp, his pale blue eyes deepening, the refined details softening some of the aggressive edges. Lumen turned his gaze forward. The sea had already turned frozen into a thick crystalline sheet. The traveler bag was in the distance beyond the layer of ice, and even the one specifically made by Mr. Fool would have been damaged in the previously blazing inferno. With an invisible spider silk tug, the bag flew back to Lumion. He took out a change of clothes, put them on awkwardly, as if an adult trying to squeeze into a child's garments, and vanished. In the drought-stricken hot area, onlookers, fearful yet curious, watched from a distance as the witch took the dead's blood. Some believers even going to a priest. Then a thunder rumbled. They looked up, finding the sky had become heavy. A raindrop splashed on the cracked lips of one of the observers. "It's gonna rain!" Oh, so everywhere he went to collect the bodies of the dead or their blood, he's now gonna reverse it. He's not gonna say, okay, you were drought, here's rain. Oh, you were having a fucking lightning storm? Fixed. Cool. You were having a flood? Sunny weather. In the southern Haganti kingdom, the residents worrying about the snowstorm continuing to the point of collapsing their roofs. Just then, they saw rays of sunlight shining through the window. The residents rushed to the window and looked out. The grey clouds dominating the sky had dissipated, and the not-so-warm sun shining upon the land again. The thick, fluffy snowflakes falling from the air disappeared. In a thunderstorm, few dared to go out, the children huddling fearfully beside their parents worried about the subsequent rain and flooding. Amidst these emotions, they realized the thunder had stopped, and the rumbling thunder had vanished. Trier, inside a luxurious villa, a swirl of violent blue flames coalesced before Franca, Jenna, Anthony, and Ludwig, forming the tall and handsome LEMMiNO. "You've grown taller again," Franca said, studying him. If hunters grow taller every time they consume a potion, do demonesses grow slightly shorter? Like, do they get like an inch shorter? Like, LEMMiNO shrugged. "This is the result of my best efforts to compress it. Of course, if he didn't consider body bounds, he could shrink down to 1.9 meters. It was essentially a mythical creature. Check COI artwork. They already lost all their inches." That's really good. That's really good. Okay. Think of this, but blood red hair, black snakes, and black and white eyes. That looks disgusting. I dislike it. Never mind. I don't like it. Yucky. It's too many colors. Red and purple? No, thank you. Pick one. I have spoken. LEMMiNO shrugged. "This is the result of my best efforts to compress it." "Let's get you changed in some proper clothes," Jenna said. The way he looked now was quite awkward, giving the impression of intentionally wearing undersized clothes to perform as a clown. After Franca used the mirror world to go to the City of Silver and buy clothes for LEMMiNO. Oh, I love it. They have to go to the City of Silver because they're like, "Bro, you're damn near a fucking giant." Franca looked at LEMMiNO and said, "Oh no, he's too handsome. I'm starting to feel flustered." Jenna did not speak, but her gaze seemed to echo Franca's words. LEMMiNO leaned back on the sofa. The change is a result of a demoness of an aging and the weather warlock charms merging. A normal sequence 2 in the hunter path mainly possesses a charisma that makes people want to follow him and be loyal, and may cause women to develop feelings of admiration, but no charm. Now it's not just admiration. As long as I don't use charm, it's still controllable. Oh. What abilities have you gained? This characteristic contains sequence 9 through 2. The abilities I was missing, like Iron-Blooded Knight and Warp-Based Ship, have now been filled. Of course they fucking have. Of course. I'm always full of courage and will not be affected by emotions like fear or terror, but I'm not reckless or blind. In fact, I still feel fear and terror. My courage just overcomes them. The Sword of Courage is the extreme version, I guess. It's no longer of much use to me. Between you and Jenna, use it if need be. LEMMiNO took out the iron-black sword and tossed it. Just as she was putting the Sword of Courage into the traveler bag, Franca stood up and walked to LEMMiNO and Jenna. After stowing it away, she suddenly found herself standing in the middle of the living room. "It has given me the courage to beat you up," she chuckled. LEMMiNO scoffed, dividing the bundle of long swords used to seal away the Sword of Courage into 2 parts and the invisible spider silk. "I can also galvanize and flame my body. Bye-bye, Peak Sword." Well, it's not dying. It didn't break. At sequence 2, the former is no longer just ordinary steel, but closer to the symbolism of steel, able to withstand attacks that would normally shatter or melt real steel. The latter allows me to disperse multiple flames, each of which I control precisely, then coalesce back. Even if the most dispersed flame are extinguished by the enemy, it does not affect the integrity of my flames. It just weakens my vitality. The angelic level flame transformation can also turn me into a stream of flame, a huge stream of flaming spear, and a terrifying meteor to attack enemies or travel quickly. I can reach speeds of over 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers per hour, and once the magic potion is digested, I can enhance it even further. Hold on. So he is at Mach 3 right now. Maybe no, he's at Mach 4 right now. Mach 4. What are we he breaks the... So you're telling me he could be going a fourth of his speed. So basically his equivalent of like on a leisurely jog and cause sonic booms through Trier. Scholar of your victim. True. Bro, imagine. Klein is on... fuck me, dude. 1,100 chapters. 1,100 chapters, and I can't get this motherfucker's name right. Lumion is on one side of Trier, gets a message from Franca. You down? Fucking instantly just flies over, shattering every window in all of Trier to get there. The most powerful flames controlled by Iron-Blooded Knight and War Bishop are Azure, but Iron-Blooded Knight is not pure in this regard, having a tinge of dazzling white. At this level, the flames become violent. Whether Warlock are a violet-tinged Azure to be Azure-tinged violet. The specific hue depending on the digestion of the potion. At the subsequent sequence 1, the flame should be pure violet. If I borrow the power of 001, the violet will be paler and more transparent. If I draw on the force from the depths of the ancient well, the violet will be tinged with a deep red. Not a scarlet of a pyromaniac, but a blood red. My control over flames has improved. Compared to before, I can now cover a battlefield of tens of kilometers, raining down meteors or fire ravens. The explosive power of a compressed fireball now surpasses that of a fleet's main gun by a lot. The Iron-Blooded Knight can establish a mystical connection with their team, concentrating the entire group's strength on themselves and sharing their teammates' vision. Distributing the damage they receive, however, only applies to power and spirituality, not powers. At this level, not only can they use the powers of the team within a 3-kilometer radius, but they can also share their own abilities and powers with them. In this regard, a Weather Warlock's range is 10 kilometers, but there is no longer a restriction of sharing abilities. Simply put, when a War Bishop can only let one member use their abilities at a time after sharing it, a Weather Warlock can allow every teammate to use it simultaneously, lending them the corresponding spirituality. Of course, the team's overall spirituality doesn't increase. From the War Bishop stage on, the team's mental resources, or team's mental resonance becomes direct telepathy, when the War Bishop can selectively shield and modify certain information. A War Bishop can also create a fog of war, significantly reducing the visual range, hearing, and smell of all living beings within, and enveloping the corresponding spirit world as well, suppressing the interaction between entities at spirit world and dueling spirit warnings and intuitions. Oh my god. I know what's gonna happen. I can see it. I can see the future. Oh my god, I see it. I see it. I can see the future. I know what's gonna happen. At the Weather Warlock level, the Fog of War initially expands to 20 kilometers, continuing to increase as the potion is digested. Additionally, the Fog of War will also have the ability to interfere with outside divination and prophecy. At higher levels, it may even affect the astral world. Within the Fog of War, I am unaffected by anything. This trait can be shared with the team members after becoming a Weather Warlock. Someone in the team is gonna die. By someone, I do mean Franca or Jenna. When that happens, they're gonna be interconnected, so everyone's gonna feel the dying, because you share perception. Oh, I see it. I see it. I'm thinking Franca, because we care way more about her. Who the fuck cares? Like, Jenna dies. Alright, fucking... Alright, tough shit, bro. I don't care. But Franca dies? It's Gojo over. We riot. We stop reading the book. A War Bishop also has the abilities like War Cry and War Song that can be used to boost the team's morale, temporarily enhance strength, influence the team's mentality, and suppress the target's performance. After offering sufficient sacrifices, each War Bishop can petition the essence of the war on the symbolic war for assistance for once per battle, while a Weather Warlock can do so every 7 days. It's practically a war machine, a scythe of reaping lives, Franca said. That is why the true God of War is titled things like God of War and War Overlord. A weather warlock has the partial authority to change regional weather and create extreme weather conditions such as thunderstorm, hurricane, heavy rain, hail, blizzards, and dense fog. In the western continent, it may be called to call the wind and summon the rain, and being completely influential. No, it doesn't even cover it, Franca said. A weather warlock mainly controls the weather, like things like meteors, tsunamis, earthquakes are not under our purview, though some can be indirectly induced. My weakness investigation can also be enhanced, or has also been enhanced. The targets I see will be in an overall sense, including substitutes, avatars, and manifestations, then I can find the weak points on the whole. If combined with Call and Mighty Blow, if the target doesn't have enough substitutes or avatars, I can kill them all at once. Even demonesses cannot withstand such things. That sounds like it's aimed at us, Franca muttered. Is that how the neighboring paths are? Yes. My weapons will be extensions of my body, Lumen said. Ordinary objects can serve this role. They'll just be destroyed after. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Cuttlefish saying the ever ready to help Klein. Or sorry, the ever ready to help Madam Magician. I was like, damn. She kinda doing stuff though. Like maybe we keep her around for now. Maybe we say, you have earned your keep for this month, Fours. But don't get latent, okay? Don't get lazy. Latent? That doesn't even make it. Don't get lazy. With a nod, there are corresponding qualitative changes in strength, stamina, spirituality, intuition, tracking, target pursuit. I can also fly by the wind and levitate in the air. The last thing is that I have become a male. What about the fusion of hunter and demoness abilities? Lumen raised his right hand, a black flame of madness and destruction igniting in his palm, then stretched the black flame into a deep, oppressive greatsword. Seeing this, the greatsword, Franca, Jenna, and Anthony all had their hair stand on end, as if the apocalypse had arrived. If I ever encounter a spatial seal again, I can cleave a fissure in the barrier with the Sword of Destruction without needing to do any attacks, Lumen said. I can also insert extreme weather or lethal attacks into mirrors, guiding them through the mirror world to precisely target locations, attacking people in environments outside the mirror. As long as the title conditions are met, I can respond to prayers worldwide. I can also hide petrification powers within fireballs, and after they explode, the effect is released, affecting the surroundings without needing to spread it inch by inch. My mystical pathogens are more heat resistant now and can spread through rain, gales, fire, snowflakes, and influence a large area. My mythical creature form, aside from igniting those who witness or approach me, are creating various weather phenomena and can also petrify them, induce extreme euphoria, sicken them, or curse them, or infatuate them with me. If I don't suppress or restrain my psyche, the weather in the areas I'm in will become more and more volatile, and the likeliness of war or massacre happening will increase. The word everyone thought of immediately was calamity. After a while, Jenna recalled Lumien's introduction, and at an angelic level, do you still have to fly to get around? Each pathway is different, at least the hunter pathway doesn't have more mystical means. By sequence 1, maybe the speed will let me fly out of the current planet, or even faster. Actually, I can already use the explosive force of flames to accelerate continuously, reaching a terrifying speed, but my body wouldn't exactly last long. I can also directly descend through the prayers of believers and enter the spirit world, without relying on other abilities, but I can't discern directions or complete the pinpoint. I can only go to markers I have set up in the real world. I see, so the high-level hunters rely on their team to gather diverse capabilities. Yes. As he spoke, Lumen's eyes lit up, with a slit, vertical, tinged with gold. Seeing this, Anthony sat up straight. Now you are all my team members, within a 10-kilometer radius. I can use your powers without your consent, but you need permission to use mine. Just like that? We're all team members? No ritual needed, Franca said. With mental resonance, there is no subconscious resistance within this range, and you can be integrated. Then I can't get a taste of being an angel, borrowing your abilities and traits? Franca said. The fact that Sequence 2 hunters must be male was considered a trait. Lumion saw through this and chuckled. And self-modification during the advancement cannot be shared, just like you cannot use my mythical creature form. What made him go with Sequence 2 instead, or Demoness for Resurrection? What? I don't understand the question. You mentioned before that when you transfer back to the hunter pathway, being closer to the subject... that when you transfer back to the hunter path, being closer to the subject of the secret deed ritual, you should be able to complete the secret deed without needing the corpse candle, performing a ritual, or being in a special environment. Is that the case now? Yes. This is combined with the ability to petition the essence of war on the war symbolism, and has been further refined. Ordinary weather warlocks can do this once a week. I can do it once a day. The real limit is my body and mind, not frequency. Also, ordinary weather warlocks only get corresponding, somewhat distorted assistance when they petition, but I can gain secret deed experiences. How deep it can go depends on whether I'm petitioning 001 or the dark presence in the ancient well, and what I'm petitioning for. Other weather warlocks need to prepare sacrifices and perform rituals to petition. I don't. Of course, having sacrifices would yield better results. So powerful. Is this the true value of a war proxy? The son of calamity? All prices have been exacted for what fate bestows, but I haven't just reached the point where I must pay them, Levin said. I'm so hungry, everyone thought. Instantly, they all turned to Ludwig. I'll take him to the sea, Levin stood up. While you're at it, bring some food for the face of the arcane. Can you block Ludwig out of the mental channel? Only lifting if there's an emergency, or we'll never get a good night's sleep. Okay, Lumin agreed. When Lumin returned with a well-fed Ludwig from the sea, Jenna was the only one here. Where are the others? Lumin asked. Freyka is continuing to work on the kind of robot she wants, and you know how Anthony's been, digesting the manipulator potion and searching for clues about the hidden cults. I was also Did you decide? It's our Reverend Insanity, DJ. I was also planning to contract the bishop and have some of the other provinces to go to. Other regions, even other countries, to preach in remote villages where the church's presence is weak. Now that you can respond to prayers worldwide, we need more believers, and it's time to expand. But what? You haven't even designed a qualifying title, and I feel like you're not happy with your advancement. Your mood has been quite low, Jenna said. Actually, I'm quite happy. Becoming an angel means I'm substantially closer to reviving Aurora, and have stronger powers to protect those I wish to. And the latent powers will most likely erupt before the apocalypse without needing to worry about interference of the evil gods. It is mainly that after the advancement, with my godhood enhanced and my condition unstable, I have to devote a large amount of my energy to maintaining and suppressing it, so my everyday demeanor will be more muted. After some time, when I have digested a bit, I will be a lot more normal. I see. Jenna then walked up to Lumion, stopping in front of him, spreading her arms, and hugged Lumion. Long time no see, Lumion Lee. Her voice coming from the embrace. On your own, though? You think so? Lumion raised his hands and hugged Jenna back. His expression softened and his body seemed to relax. After hugging for a while, Lumion and Jenna both felt something was off, and they straightened up and turned their gaze to the side. Ludwig was eating a lollipop. Puzzled. So, what you're saying is Jenna's the one dying. Cuttlefish. So you're saying Jenna's dying. Deal. I'll go contact the bishops and have them prepared to preach in other regions, Jenna said. That was the exclusive papal office, which the two deities did not have. I also need to pray to Mr. Fool. He gave me a revelation. He gave me a revelation just as I had completed my advancement, telling me to go above the grey fog after stabilizing. There should be something I can understand. Separating from Jenna and heading up, Lumin heard clanging sounds coming from the second floor. He went over and found Franco's workshop slightly ajar. Making quite a commotion. Wiz doesn't want to read in Shadow Slave Live? Hey, okay. Not. If you can convey, okay. Maybe we could do half and half, because they're both so long, it's gonna take a long ass fucking time for me to finish them. But the problem is, I'm switching to 4 streams a week once I'm done COI. This is it. It's 4 streams a week. So do you want 2 streams a week of COI and 2 of SS and 2 of Reverend Insanity? Because we're gonna slow down streams because I want to have time to make videos. I'm up to date on SS, so I can mod that. Okay, well that's nice to know. Thanks, Chris. I don't know if I gotta see who Reverend. No, I think I have a couple people for Reverend Insanity too. Pushing open the door, Lumin saw Franca with the left side of her face covered with a mask made of rivets, springs, gears, and various mechanical parts, trying to assemble an arm. She had already invented her fully automatic healing machine, and in the process had created her own mystical pathogen. Now, the machine she had infused with soul fragments and brought to life, using the face of the arcane, had been moved to the mirror world, staying with her mirrored self, fully automatically responding. This required no further operation from her mirrored self, just categorizing the requests, as it was truly autonomous machine with living properties and basic intelligence. Franca stood up, removing the face of the arcane, and came to the door, jokingly handing it to Lumin. It's Master Arcane's meal time. Lumin took out a mirror and put the face of the arcane into it. Behind the mirror there was a sea, water, and large number of creatures. Franca looked down and said, "Where's Jenna?" She went to assign the bishops to preach in other regions. "Oh, it's time to preach in other regions," Franca replied. "You said before that you occasionally still want to see Lumin Lee, to hug Lumin Lee, right?" Lumin said. "Now you can hug him." Franca was dumbfounded. "Me saying it is fine, but you? Have you no shame, good sir?" She snorted a few times, but still forward and hugged Lumin and said, "I'm starting to miss Lumina and Aurora." "Welcome back, Lumin Lee," she said. Lumin returned Franca's hug, embracing her in silence, and after a while, Lumin released his arms and said, "I need to go above the grey fog." He took the well-fed face of Arcane out of the mirror and said, "I'll keep going." Sure, I can make it," Franca said. Oh, I super enjoyed the perfect run. That was awesome. Fuck, are they both dying? Bro, both dying would be a lot. Both dying would be too much. Listen, I would prefer if Jenna died. Just personally, I like Franca more. But I think story-wise, it makes more sense for Franca to die, because I feel like it'd have a much bigger impact. Like he's not gonna be like Kleinar, and he's gonna get his sister back. So unless he doesn't get her back, then he truly loses everyone. Above the grave. No, I'm not saying Jenna should. Okay, listen. I said Forz should die. We should just make her into a characteristic because it could be a better served. Not right now. But at the time, I did say that. And at the time, I stand by it. I am now saying it seems like Cuttlefish is planning to kill someone. If that is the case, I would rather Jenna than Franca. That's all I said. I did not say I want her to die. I did not say kill her and give her characteristic to someone else. They could better use it. Not the same. Everyone is dying. You think they stop in the apocalypse in like 100 chapters? I do think so. I do think Cuttlefish is going to give a bum bitch ending to this, which is why everyone hates this book. I agree. I think Cuttlefish is going to fuck this ending. He's going to take out his... I hate to be a little crass here, but he's gonna take out his characteristic and just fuck the ending up altogether. Above the grey fog, within the majestic palace, Lumin's figure appeared by the bronze table, seeing only Mr. Fool and Madam Magician present. As expected, the upcoming topic is something only angels can engage with. I love how Lumion entered the fucking tarot club like a month ago and immediately he's in the top 2 of the tarot club. He's like, damn, I'm outraking nearly everybody. Madam Hermit and Madam Magician were unable to become angels due to the level of their digestion and required rituals. Sitting at the head of the table, Mr. Fool looked at Lumion and said, "How are you feeling?" "I am full of the urge to kill and destroy and have a strong desire for copulation, especially towards the demonesses, wanting to merge with the body and mind until I devour them, becoming one. I also want to conquer all around me." This is the manifestation of godhood. Mr. Fool nodded. Mr. Fool, can you explain the differences between godhood and humanity in more detail? I'm not too clear on it myself, the Force said. The bum, unable to understand something so basic. She didn't have this dilemma before, and Mr. Fool hadn't specifically discussed it. By the time she became an angel, Mr. Fool was already asleep, unable to answer. Enveloped by the grey fog, Mr. Fool glanced at the chariot and fours and said, okay. The Tarot Club only has 2 angels? That's so depressing, bro. What are the... Listen. No, you know what? The only 2 people I'm actually genuinely sad with, actually, is Audrey and Derek. Everyone else, you're bums, okay? I didn't expect anything out of you. The fact that you're even fucking demigods is like, wow, you fucking actually did something. Good job, right? Derek and Audrey, I expected you guys to be here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did. Everyone else, fuck them. And cause mayhem. I mean, I thought that was understood, Chris, obviously. Mr. Fool, tap... And Sharon. No, Sharon too. Sharon too. Mr. Fool, tap the edge of the table. I forgot that she was a Tarot Club member now. I apologize. Mr. Fool, tap the edge of the table a few times. To understand the difference between godhood and humanity, we must understand what godhood is and what humanity is. What is godhood? The godhood of all things possess godhood? Madam Magician answered. A crazed, chaotic spirit filled with destructive desires, Lumen tried to answer. This can be divided into true godhood, apparent godhood, and the vague concept of godhood. The true godhood comes from the true deities, in a narrow sense only the oldest one, the original creator, the different personas split from him, his direct offsprings, and the first beings nurtured by the Great Mother can be called gods. The indestructible spirit left in their Sephiroth, and the corresponding characteristics of the godhood that every later arrival must contend with. The essential godhood. If you got time, go to... I can't. No, Chris, I can't. Sephiroth split off different personalities. Lumen had too many questions, but chose not to ask the most important one. The godhood that we who have consumed potions in advance or the path of the divine must contend with is the indestructible, indelible spirit left behind in the characteristic by the original creator. For most paths of the divine, that is the case, at least for you, her, and me, Mr. Fool said, but not entirely. The original creator is the collective of all. He is crazy but also rational, confused but lucid. He created all and destroyed all. He loves things but hates things. He has the most intense of all desires, yet is indifferent and unaffected. All his actions random. Even he himself cannot predict them. He has created the world, created all things, and finally split into 6 Sephiroth, 16 uniquenesses and countless characteristics. From this perspective, all things have godhood. 16 uniquenesses? What? The extreme loss of control for most Beyonders is when there's 6 paths from the outer gods. Yeah, I got that, bro. Relax. Relax. I'm not an idiot. It just caught me off guard. That just caught me off guard, okay? But this is not the full extent of godhood that we must contend with. No, the extreme loss of control for most Beyonders is when godhood gains absolute dominance, transforming them into the state I described, completely losing their sense of self. But this is not the full extent of godhood that we contend with. Oh, that's why it's so weird. That's why when someone gets like... Oh, Because it makes no sense. It's fully random. Like, even the original creator's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, bro. I show up every day, shit happens. Recalling his conversation with Mr. Fool in the Dream City, Lumin had a rough understanding. The different personas split off from the original creator, who are also true deities, have left their psyche and the corresponding characteristics, uniquenesses, Sephiroth, and the godhood that we need to contend with, such as the Celestial Worthy. Yes. After the original creator was awakened, he naturally disintegrated, and before that, his mind and consciousness have already split. The different spirits controlling different Sephiroth and uniqueness and characteristics. Among them, the Seer, Apprentice, and Marauder pathway belong to the Celestial Worthy. Spectator, Sailor, Reader, Secret Suppliant, Bard belong to the Primordial God Almighty. All personas of the original creator. As for the great existence corresponding to the other personas, I do not know their names. I can only tell you that the Celestial Worthy is the embodiment of the Sephiroth Castle, the Primordial God Almighty, the symbol of the Chaos Sea. The other Sephiroth include the City of Calamity of the Hunter and Demoness Path, the River of Eternal Darkness of the Sleepless Warrior Corpse Collector, the Knowledge Moor of the Mystery Parent Savant, and the Key of Light of the Fate Pathways. All of these originating from the original creator. In other words, the godhood the Beyonders of the Seer pathway contend with is the combination of the primordial creator's residual psyche and the Celestial Worthy's psyche and spirit. Oh, that's double freaky, eh? Not only is the original creator there, but then the Celestial Worthy, which is not the original creator but is the original creator, is also there. Similarly, the godhood that Beyonders belonging to different Sephiroth must contend with varies, with different focuses reflecting characteristics of their own pathways and Sephiroth. The City of Calamity. Why is it an ancient well and a malevolent dragon? Mr. Fool only mentioned 6 Sephiroth and 16 pathways. The godhood I need to contend with is the crazed, chaotic overtones leading towards destruction, conquest, and yin-yang coupling. The Beyonders and the Great Moon Mother need to contend with the crazed aspects of fertility. I see. Madam Magician understood. Yes, Mr. Fool said. Hold on, I'm going to copy all of this into my notes really quickly because this is really important lore drops. Most of this is known, yes, but this is written really succinctly, so it's really nice for my notes to have like most of this in one place. Before anyone going, you know all of this. Yeah, fucking asshole, I got it. I'm still writing it because it's written very succinctly. Relax. This is the general outline, but there are some details to be addressed. For example, the Beyonders of the River of Eternal Darkness pathways actually need to contend with a mixture of the Celestial Worthy's mental imprint, because in the ancient era, in the first epoch, the Celestial Worthy had accommodated both the River of Eternal Darkness and the Nation of Disorder. Dude, what an asshole. Can one accommodate multiple Sephiroths? Lumin asked. For the Celestial Worthy, obviously not. I'll explain that later. Yes, Mr. Fool. I can't see who else has accommodated the other Sephiroth, but I can speculate that the City of Calamity was once accommodated by the Primordial God Almighty. The godhood you need to contend with will also include a portion of his psyche. What pathway did Evernight and Roselle choose? They never left the net. Wait. Wow, that's so freaky. Wow, okay. The City of Calamity was once accommodated by the Primordial God Almighty. Lumin recalled the images of Grisha and Pengdeng in the Dream City and the arrangements he saw through the Eridus, the fact that Alista, Turo, and the Primordial Demoness were created through the guidance of Adam, and that he was arranged by Adam, and that he himself was arranged by Adam, and whose current godhood was previously obviously dominated by the Primordial God Almighty's residual consciousness. Thinking of this, Lumin had a chill run down his spine. Feeling quickly suppressed by the courage of a weather warlock. What I just talked about was true godhood. When we have to use the vast majority of our energies, emotions, and feelings to contend with and suppress true godhood, the external manifestation will be different. Some are indifferent, some are gentle, some steadfast, executing a single intent, eliminating obstacles. Of course, there are others. This is what I choose to call apparent godhood. Apparent godhood. Lumion felt the sense of emptiness in his heart like a fist that had been cocked and was waiting to be thrown, likely to land on empty space. Then what is the vague concept of godhood in the general public? Let me first explain what humanity is, Mr. Full sighed. In my understanding, humanity has two layers. The first layer is the most basic, self-awareness of a human being's core and various instincts. Selfishness, greed, survival indifference, only caring about oneself, only doing things beneficial to oneself, not influenced or constrained by group morals, group interactions, or group perceptions. This layer, in fact, the great existences like the celestial worthy also possess, but since we've defined them as true deities, we don't need to include them here. Innate mythical creatures like Amon, the hidden sage, Medici also possess humanity, which is the first layer of humanity. If they didn't even have self-awareness, how could they contend with true godhood? They would have long ago become crazed, confused, and extreme, their bodies hotbeds for the revival of great existences. The vague concept of godhood that many people have is the first layer of humanity, indifferent, selfish, utilitarian, and with the main goal of one's own continuation and empowerment. When true deities have resided at Sequence Zero for so long, withered by the passage of time and seeing the anchors of the past, the strong emotions and the experiences disappear, their humanity will degrade to this layer, and in essence, this is also godhood we need to contend with. Oh, he's saying even this level of humanity is a level of godhood that we need to contend with, because you only start caring about yourself, but that's not humanity. Humanity as by nature is collective, because we cannot survive by ourselves. We are weak, whereas godhood is not. They can only rely on themselves. They can rely only on themselves and be fine. And high-level beings with only this level of humanity will likely become passive in contending with true godhood until they are defeated. Oh, that's so cute. And Lumion's saying, me, the reason I'm kind of goated with the sauce like that is because my humanity runs so deep. And he says, eventually this may wither away, this will wither away, but eventually, but right now, this humanity, the care that I have for others, is the thing that allows me to fight the Celestial Worthy so deeply. Clever. In this regard, the innate mythical creatures like Amon, Medici, due to the mode of their birth, growth experience, and strong interactions, and the team requirements and conquest desires brought about by their own characteristics, may have some aspects that go beyond the first layer of humanity, such as Medici's pride and unyielding side. Oh my fucking Christ, I'm so fucked up, Kami. In contrast, the hidden sage came to life and his interactions with other beings were just about imparting knowledge and accepting supplication. So he has mostly remained at the first layer of humanity, and he didn't feel that begging for mercy is shameful. He didn't even have the concept of dignity and pride, which is something humans or human-like societies have. He only had the instinct of survival. Because we often battle and contend with innate mythical creatures and high-level beings who have degraded at the first level of humanity, we will vaguely perceive this as godhood. The chariot, Lumion, and Force both understood and agreed. The second layer of humanity is the widely recognized humanity, the love, benevolence, courage, sacrifice, compassion, justice, and concern for others that we have learned in our short, brief lives. Of course, there are also negatives at this level. I understand. The chariot and Madam Magician both said. Mr. Fool then looked to Lumion and said, "Are you still wanting to ask what Sephiroth are and why I only mentioned 16 Paths of the Divine just now?" "Yes, Mr. Fool. Please, enlighten me," Lumion said. Oh, alright. Alright, good lord. Okay, that was really bad timing I made today. I am like so far over what I should have been. It's so fucking cooked. During the Hidden Sage hunt, Hidden Sage was in a desolate plain. Do you know where that was? No idea. Alright guys, that's it. Let's call it there. Knowledge Moor branch. A moor is a desolate plain. Oh, cool. I see. Alright, damn, beat him in his own house, beat him in his own Cipher. Oof. Telling you guys never about him again. Alright, bye guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll keep going, and we'll get this fucking book done on the weekend. Bye guys.